up, and welcome back to the Section 10 Podcast, episode 509, presented by Underdog Fantasy. It is the home of your 81 and 81 third place Boston Red Sox. My name is Jared Carabas, and I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Coley Mick, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Tyler Milliken, and he killed his dog Bullet, and you can't teach that. Bada boom, realest guys in the room. Steve, how you doing?
Ooh, what up, Section 10 in the building?
In the motherfucking building. Presented by Blue Moon.
Suck one.
Produced by Jake Yazzie.
Fuck yeah.
Suspended by Tyler Milliken. Get the fuck out of here. You just gotta tip your cap sometimes, I guess. You just gotta tip your cap. Tip your cap to that. Crazy take. I mean, it's actually not even that crazy because Tyler's tweet was like, we gotta let Nick Pivetta hear it tonight. Hope Fenway goes fucking nuts for the guy. They did give him a standing ovation, which he deserved a standing ovation for a good pitching performance that night. Tyler's justification was like, yeah, but you know, he showed up.
Justin Peter got one a year ago. How does Nick Pivetta not?
And then he was like, yeah, but then remember in 2021 out of the bullpen? Yeah, it was literally 3 appearances 3 years ago in a year that did not end in a championship. I'm not going to get bogged down here. I'm not going to get bogged down on the Nick Pivetta take. I just want to because it was a few days ago, I just want to make sure we address it off the top. Steve?
I just wanted to say I haven't seen this tweet yet. Can you read the tweet, Tyler?
I don't have it in front of me.
You know what, Steve? Did you ever get suspended on Section 10 for your Verdugo take?
No, I'll take one now, though.
Yeah, all right.
This is unfair. Steve's take sucked.
No,
Verdugo got benched.
Yeah, no. You both of your takes sucked, if we're being honest.
I'm not walking away from it.
No, Tyler. Steve wanted Alex Verdugo to get a standing ovation in a season in which he got benched for disciplinary reasons and then traded because they didn't want him here. And he was like, gotta tip your cap. Standing O, that was a bad take. Like, the Nick Pivetta standing ovation is, I'll agree, it was a little bit more reasonable because it's like, we're getting him a standing ovation because he didn't get hurt, basically. But
no, you're just saying, hey, man, you spent 5 seasons here. You've been here for parts of 5. Cool. He's the third longest tenured player.
He's
had a couple big playoff
standing
moments.
Ovations, we used to have a higher standard for this. It used to be that standing ovations were only for players that like won a championship.
It's your one playoff run in the last 6 years. Like one of the best player.
It was 3 appearances. It was out of the bullpen.
Yes.
I'm just saying, like, we used to give standing ovations for guys that won championships or guys that were like top 10 in franchise history at that position. Top 5.
Well, like I think of like John Lackey as a guy who earned the fuck out of his standing ovation and tipping the cap. That was a guy who way worse than Nick Pivetta ever was those first couple of years. Then he gets hurt and then he's shoved. He had an all-time John Lackey playoff performance up there with his 0-2 Angels stretch. So yeah, that was an earned, not given standing ovation.
Had to tip your cap.
Had to. This was just like, this was a guy we got in a trade and he pitched for us every once in a while. Like,
he pitched every once in a while.
Yeah, that's every once in a while.
You got to give him that. He made all of his starts pretty much.
All I'm saying,
until he got removed from the rotation,
right? Like we're talking
and then
about
shoved out of the bullpen.
Like, had like a mid-4 ERA that wasn't very likable. Like, I mean, I'm sure his teammates liked him, but like, was this a guy that endeared himself to the fan base?
To the community? Yes. He was the Boston Children's Champion Award winner this year. He was a huge part of the charity scene.
Yeah, the Boston Children's Championship Award. Yeah.
That video broke my heart watching all those kids and all the parents comment how much Nick Pivetta has done for their families.
I'm not saying he wasn't involved in the community. There's a big difference between he did stuff for children privately and endeared himself to the fan base. Like, what was your favorite Nick Pivetta moment? Like, what was your favorite Nick Pivetta quote?
The playoffs. It was that run. When he came out and he did what he did in Game 3.
That's not a quote. I just said, what was your favorite Nick Pivetta quote? And then you just said, when he pitched. Like, that's not a quote. He's never said anything that fired up the boys. He's never, like, it's just, there's been no Nick Pivetta, like, moments. What'd he say, Steve? What'd he say?
No, I don't have a favorite Nick Pivetta quote, but that's why I asked Tyler to read the tweet, because I don't think an ovation for Nick Pivetta is a crazy thing. I'm an ovation guy, obviously. Let's start with that. I love ovations. I'm a big sign-off guy. I like ovations when it's like, hey, you've done XYZ for us. Are you the greatest player ever? No. But I was looking up, before we started recording, who's pitched the most innings for the Red Sox the last 5 seasons.
Nick Pivetta.
And it's Nick Pivetta in a landslide. 633. Yeah. Number 2 is Houck at 430.
Yeah.
He's got 200 more innings pitched than anyone else in the
staff. Trust me, I have respect and admiration for Nick Pivetta's ability to stay healthy. Like, being the innings leader for the Boston Red Sox in the last 5 years is really not that impressive when you consider how, they just haven't had anybody else.
He's been a fine pitcher. I don't think anyone's trying to make a case that he's
been fine.
A Nate Eovaldi type. But all I was saying was, between the time spent here, being one of the longest tenured players, someone who had stepped up into that leadership role.
He's been fine.
The last couple years, no one's fighting that.
Yeah,
someone who stepped up the last couple years as a leader when you didn't have veterans.
He hasn't been great. He hasn't been a fan favorite. Like Justin Turner, you brought up Justin Turner. Justin Turner was a fan favorite.
He was here for 1 year.
And he was here for 1 year, but he also had a really good year.
It was a good year.
Had a good year. Was a leader, was super involved in the community, loved Boston. Boston loved him back. He was a fan favorite. Nick Pivetta was not really a fan favorite.
I do think there was a decent portion of the fan base that rode hard for Pivetta and would take it offensive when people were saying he shouldn't go back in the rotation. Come on.
You're the only one who's been... I can't say anything.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Coley hasn't even talked yet.
Let him talk.
Has any of us ever seen once a Nick Pivetta jersey on a fan?
Not one.
No, 0.
I don't know that you can give an ovation to a guy no one's ever bought.
Coley, this is a very good point. This is a very good point.
If Justin Turner was able to get one for 1 year, I think you can make a case for Nick Pivetta, who's been here for parts of 5 seasons, was big in terms of the charity scene here, had a couple big moments in their last playoff run. I don't think it's the end of the world if you can tip your cap to that guy.
It's not the end of the world. I'm just saying I have higher standards.
To Pivetta?
I'm fine that it's whatever that happened. I just have higher standards.
Send-off ovations are fine, but I got no problem with them. If you know the guy's not going to be back, the fans know he's not going to be back. He even said afterwards, that was my last start. If you post and you're a guy that's had some moments on a team that hasn't had any moments outside of 21, I'm fine with an ovation. Jerry?
I just want it on the record. I'm totally cool with the actual ovation that he got. I'm mad at Tyler's tweet. I
got to see this.
Do you want me to read it?
Read the tweet, Tyler.
Yeah, read the tweet.
I said, tonight could be the final start of Nick Pivetta's career as a member of the Red Sox. He spoke with Alex Spear about what it meant to be in Boston. This is the quote. I think the amount of growth that I've had in my career is a tribute to being able to have the Red Sox uniform on and to the people that the Red Sox organization has surrounded me with. Just to be able to put on the uniform and just go out and compete, be given that opportunity to do that, and to be welcomed, I think is very nice and a very great honor. I'm grateful for that.
Elon fucking ruined this.
Was this an article?
Yes, it was a quote, and I said, hope Fenway lets him hear it. That's it. Walking off the mound,
wait. Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
So outside of the quotes, obviously, Tyler posts a lot of quotes. He gives good context. Mm-hmm. What Tyler said was just hope Fenway
lets him hear it.
Walking off the mound, just tip your cap.
Hope Fenway lets him hear it. That's fine. That's right?
And all I said was hear
Nick
it for
Pivetta
what?
walks to the mound, give him the Mookie Betts treatment. Let's all stop the fucking game and applaud him.
That's what you want.
Cheer him on. No, nobody was saying that. Just, hey,
that's what
when you pulled Justin Turner in game 162 a year ago,
and you were like, I can just picture Fenway getting on their feet.
This is all I'll put it to.
People are ripping the fucking seats out of the ground and holding them up over their head for Nick Pivetta.
That's what he wanted. He wanted fans to do that.
Yeah, he was fine. He had a fine Red Sox career.
He was good.
In my opinion, did not endear himself to the fan base whatsoever. Coley's point of not, he was here for a fucking 5 years. Not a single Nick Pivetta jersey sold. Coley?
He mattered to the Red Sox in that span. Coley?
Mm-hmm. Tyler posted 2 videos of Pivetta walking off the mound from this start. 2 separate videos of him walking off the mound.
Oh, sorry. We're going to suspend me for
crazy.
Can I add something? Mm-hmm. He got special treatment after that start, though. You saw he got to go sit in Trevor Story's little spot, him and Alex Cora sharing a moment. It's true.
They just call it Story's little spot.
It is. It's very funny that he has a spot and it's not shortstop.
I think that just points to it being a little different. He's not your typical player leaving. It's a guy who had been here during, yes, a transitional period, but someone who had been here, when a lot of guys went out the door and he kind of became that veteran over a couple years. You saw Cora kind of give him his moment. That's all I'm saying.
I think it's crazy and just another way I think about this, that like he's what, 30, about to be 30.
Mm-hmm.
The team 31, he'll turn 32 in February. Obviously, still going to play baseball for what you would assume to be 4 or 5 more years.
Mm-hmm.
The Red Sox need pitching, and everyone's just like, see you later, man.
Do it.
Yeah,
Like,
care.
that says a lot.
The guy that's posted more than anyone else on the team the last 5 seasons.
Right.
Like, get out of here.
But everyone's like, honestly, thank you. Thanks for the memories, dude. Thank you.
Yeah.
But the truth is, during a time where you didn't have those kind of homegrown guys you could throw at the back end of a rotation, now you have those guys, right? So you hope they aim higher. They don't need the guy who posts a 4.2 or a 4.3 anymore. That's Cutter Crawford, right? You would hope. Now it's about going to get that frontline arm, which I hope everybody, we're all hoping they add, but I don't know. I think Nick Pivetta, you can tip your cap and say, hey, man, thank you for your service and keep it moving. That's it.
Buddy, I would love to tip my cap to Nick Pivetta.
That's all I was asking to do.
Hey,
Here we
Nick
go.
Pivetta. Tip my cap. Tip my cap to Nick Pivetta.
He posted.
He posted.
Definitely
He made
posted.
the starts.
Well, I always looked at Pivetta, too, as like what we had to give up, which is nothing to get Nick Pivetta.
Brandon
so that's a huge
Workman
part of
and,
it, too. Like every
fucking
year he kept
Embry.
putting up like
Keith
those
Embry.
outings.
Yeah.
And a good handful of starts, and then obviously last year, really good out of the bullpen. It's like, this is all free. This is all free
Yeah.
stuff. So,
He was fine. He was.
yeah, he was fun. Yeah, he was
Thank you.
good.
Thank you, Nick Pivetta.
Would you say he was good?
I would say he
For
was
what he was. He was
Good.
No, I'm saying high
fine.
pitch good. I'm not saying good. He was good. Like, he was good.
No, I would say
He
was
never
fine.
had like a nuclear bad season, though. Like, when
Tyler,
you kind of go through it.
Would you say he was good?
He was good.
You know what else is good? The Underdog Fantasy app.
That's right.
It's the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats, strikeouts, total bases, home runs, and so much more. Make entries of all baseball, or you can mix and match across your other favorite sports. You can win up to 100 times your money, and it's a ton of fun. It's going to be really fun. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, when we're doing our playoff postseason live streams, live from the couch out there.
Tucasa.
Yeah. Are you coming, Tyler?
See.
Oh, damn. We switched him into Spanish mode like Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. Make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared. That's Jared to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a special pick on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared. Yeah. So that's all. Obviously the Kenley Jansen story was a big one today. I don't really want to start like negative. Let's jump into a positive.
Castigs?
Yeah, let's do Castigs. Let's do Dave Mellor. Let's do Pam Ganley. Let's do Billie Weiss.
Let's do them all.
These are all individuals that left a very significant impact on the Boston Red Sox in different ways. They impacted the franchise in different ways, but all very strongly, starting first and foremost with Joe Castiglione. When we found out that it was going to be his final season, it felt right. It's like he wins the Ford Frick Award. He gets inducted into Cooperstown, and then he calls it a career. That kind of, to me, every year that the Ford Frick Award was announced, I was like, all right, like, when's Castig's turn? Like, what's the holdup? Like, what are we waiting for here? Because I mean, the man clear, like, even back then, I was like, yeah, like, he's clearly waiting to get that so that he can fucking go home. Like, I think he just wants to call it a career and tip his cap. So it happens, goes into Cooperstown, calls it a career after that. And starting in 1983, I wasn't born until 1989. So that being said, I think when you're younger and you're watching or listening to the Boston Red Sox and you have that first Red Sox team, everyone remembers that first Red Sox team, that season that grabbed you. Where you're like, oh, I love baseball. Like, I didn't realize how much I love baseball, but I really love baseball. For Tyler Milliken, we know it's 2007.
I think
We know
it's 07, right?
Yep,
Just to
yep,
confirm.
Is it 2007?
You guys know me so well.
Yeah, 2007. But everyone has that one season, that magical season where they get the itch, they get the bug, and they're like, I love this shit. And I will sit through a last place season back to back to back because I love this team, because the high of that first season that I fell in love with, I'm going to be chasing that dragon for the rest of my life. And I remember, specifically the 99 team, the 2003 team. So I was a freshman in high school for that team, and all the personalities, the cast of characters, and they were an offensive juggernaut. I grew up with Pedro, Nomar, Manny, but this is the first year of Poppy. This is the first year of Mellor. I loved Todd Walker from that team. Jason Varitek, obviously a huge staple from my earlier fandom years. So it was like the guys that I grew up with from my childhood were also there, Tim Wakefield. But then you got injected with like these new guys that were like, oh shit, like this is fun. Like these guys are crazy. And when you're that young, you think, oh, like this team is really good. Why don't we just run this back forever? Like, why don't we just keep the same like why would we ever change the roster? Just like keep this team. But that's not possible. You grow up and you're like, rosters change. Like never are you going to go back to back with the same team. You just, even championship teams, that doesn't happen. Guys hit free agency, guys get traded, guys retire. But the point I'm trying to make here is you have that first, for Tyler, it's 2007, where every single year you hope that you get the same team, that first team you fell in love with. It never happens. But the one constant for all of us, Joe Castiglione. That's the one. And even, when you have championship years, 2004, 2007, 2013, you're like, man, fucking Poppy is just like, he's on all of them. He's winning championships. Terry Francona was for the first two. Poppy was for the first three. There was nobody from all four of them, unless you want to consider Jason Varitek player and coach. But Joe Castiglione was that one guy where it's like, when these moments happen, when these teams capture our imagination, then the story is being told through the voice of Joe Castiglione. And that's, to me, that's going to be the biggest thing, is the next time that there's a great Red Sox team, I don't want to say it's going to be weird without Joe, because if you were listening to the sign off, he took his moment, like this is his sign off to pass the torch to Will Fleming, who is our fucking guy. Yeah. So that was super cool. And it's comforting as a Red Sox fan that has only known Joe Castiglione's voice to know, like, hey, the next Joe Castiglione is a huge part of our show. He's a fucking awesome guy. I consider him a very good friend of mine. And he's the right guy. I mean, how many times in, sports, not just broadcasting, has it been like, man, you go from Tom Brady to what's the fucking asshole's name that was the quarterback after that?
Mac Jones.
Matt Castle. Like you go to,
it was Castle, yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's just hard to go from like, this is the guy to the next guy. Very rarely do you get that like, oh man, the guy it's over, it's done. But this next guy, this is pretty fucking cool too. Like, when does that ever happen? So I'm very excited about the Will Fleming era. But what are you laughing at, Steve? What's funny?
No, I was just going to make a point. No, you
What's
finish
the point?
your
No,
point.
Make the point.
It had to do with what you were just saying, because the radio call today had everything you wanted.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things that's super underrated here is Sean McDonough ripping everybody. He is one of the best like roasters of all time. And they were talking about Will potentially he's like, I think you should be the one to take over. And I got to say, that's an awful spot to be in, because now you have to take over for Joe Castiglione, and needing to take over after the guy normally goes terribly. And I just love he's just saying that on the broadcast, like Sean's the best. So I don't want to. You're still doing your point, but it just made me laugh, because I was just thinking like that was a great moment for Will, and then a couple innings earlier, Sean's like, "This isn't going to work for you." But I mean, he's obviously joking.
People
are
going to fucking hate you, dude. Good luck, asshole.
But
I mean, I none of us know a summer without Joe Castig. We just don't. Like, none of us are 43 years old, and even if we were, I mean, as babies, we didn't listen to whoever's fuck was before Joe.
You saying that, like, I picture Joe Castiglione as eternal. You saying 40, like, I didn't piece together the 42 years me and you, and I believe Steve, we're all the same age. Steve's maybe a year younger. Yeah, but we're sitting here 35. Like, I figured he was there a crisp 50 years
since the
before
40s.
We were born. Like, he has a perfect old school announcer voice. Like 42, it didn't even click until you said 82. Like, oh, that wasn't that much earlier than us. That's great. It's still not sitting well with me.
Well, them showing all the great calls, and of course the ceremony was awesome. Like the Red Sox do great with the ceremonies. It was really cool to see that being there with Jake. It reminded me, like, yes, like his calls of the World Series and the final outs are super important and they matter the most. But to me, what matters the most with Joe Castiglione were the games that like didn't matter. Like just the random game in May when you're tuning in, or if you're driving down, like. Remember driving down to the Cape with my dad and listening to Joe Castiglione call the game, and he had a way with his voice of making it sound like summer baseball. It was like this nostalgic, like you knew it was Fenway if you heard Castiglione on the call. Jerry?
I just wanted to let you know, your dad almost won Peralta of the Week this week.
Wow.
He didn't. What did he do?
He almost won.
Sounds like he didn't do enough. Okay. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, clearly. Okay, short again.
Yeah.
So that was it?
Yeah, no, it was Dan this week.
Oh, okay. Dan,
yeah.
Okay. Dan, yeah, let's
yeah, boy, Dan. Peralta of the week. Wow.
He keeps the streak
68
going.
68 fucking weeks? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think it's been 68 weeks in a row for 3 months.
No, that's not true.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, it's,
Jake, how many weeks has Dan Peralta won Peralta of the week?
I just know it was 67 last week.
That's right. Okay, there you go. Yeah. There you go.
68 consecutive. Holy shit.
That is
the Hornets
impressive.
after Coley.
Yeah, he's got the Hornet going for him now.
Which is more.
I won against the Hornet.
It's what you want.
Oh, yeah. By the way, fuck you, Jared. Fuck you, Jake. And fuck you, Steve. I'm sorry. I'm getting all three of you.
What the hell?
Dude, I was fighting for my life. And you guys
get him.
all
What,
left
he
the
hasn't
call.
been tossed yet?
Coley, tell him to back up for a second.
I want him to explain why he did that. I mean, I'm just going to toss him for saying that about Jake, but I'll let him say that about me and you if it's valid. But there's no way Jake did anything.
I doubt it.
What are you saying this for, Tyler?
After we had finished recording last episode, we were sitting there shooting the shit for a couple minutes, and then all of a sudden the Hornet that had been in my room for 24 hours appeared. And I was terrified. I started fighting it. Everyone leaves the call.
I don't care. Yeah, no, I don't. No, I don't. This is a Hornet? This is a Hornet issue? Did you want me to kill the Hornet? You live in...
Yeah, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, like, you live in Brockton, dude. You're over an hour away. If you lived down the street, I would have came and killed the Hornet for you. To suggest that I'm not a good enough friend to protect you is insane to me. I'm welcoming you into my home this week for 3 straight days. I'm feeding you Papagenos. And this is the thanks that I get for that.
I'm just saying, my great friend Coley Mick stayed in the call. Coley, yes, I called you my great friend. Stayed in the call while I battled and went to war, and I came out victorious after it all.
Yeah, I don't regret my decision at all, Coley.
I was rooting for the Hornet.
Yeah,
to be angry at Jake, who immediately has to stay up for hours and put the show together and upload the show, and
you're preventing him from doing that by fighting the Hornet.
If I died there,
get suspended.
And if I died there, you all would feel horrendous, and you would have to go to my funeral and tell my mom.
Yes, we missed it.
What?
Oh my god! The way that I would have made your eulogy a roast of Tyler Milliken up there, I've been like, and another thing.
Yeah, no, give me that mic back. I got like 5 more things.
I'll tell you about this other story, this Tyler Milliken tale.
So about Castigs.
Tyler?
Yes. On Castig. I thought a couple moments. Is that a crazy transition? I'm sorry. I thought the Will Fleming moment at the very end, where he was so emotional. You hear how much Will Fleming cares and respects him and how much of a mentor. I thought that, I started getting choked up and emotional in that moment because it just speaks to the kind of influence Castig has had on him and everybody that's grown up.
Did you cry?
Will Fleming, hearing a grown man get that emotional and cry, that makes me cry. I'm sorry.
I'm just asking.
If I see a grown man crying, it's like when you see your dad cry. Like, damn, I'm going to cry too.
I've seen my dad cry one time and it was just one tear. My dad's
Did you cry?
Badass. Oh yeah, I was bawling.
Of course.
But my dad, in my entire life, one gangster tear.
Can't believe
for my whole life.
Can't believe the McMahon didn't get me tickets to this game. That was it.
Yeah.
I
thought he was like the Celtics guy or something.
Yeah. Anytime, I'll get accused of it all the time. Like, you have no emotion. I'm like, you don't know my dad. What?
I think it had to be like the most emotional part of the entire broadcast, and Joe just wanted to call the game. He's like, just enough.
Get
like,
to it.
They were genuinely like, Will and Sean are both crying.
Yeah.
And Joe's
He's
like
2-2.
Yeah, whatever.
He's like, I'm
Swing
numb.
and a foul ball.
He just kept saying it.
One's
He
out
was
of
like,
All
play.
right, wait. Since we're here, can we talk about the ceremony for a second?
yes.
Okay.
What, you talking Dauber?
I just want to preface this by saying anyone that was involved in the planning of the ceremony, we're not making fun of you. It's just funny. Sarah McKenna, love you. I think Pam Ganley probably was involved in this to some degree too. You guys do an amazing job. Best in the business. But it was very funny that they're like, we've got 4 championships that Joe Castiglione has called. And here to represent the 2004 the Boston Red Sox, Brian Daubach. Brian Daubach leading the way. Dauber comes out. It was basically like they had the 4 championships represented by players who were just happened to be there that day.
We'll get like Breslow being the only one from the 2013 team. I was like,
That was
they
Yeah,
could
it's
find
like from the
somebody.
2013
Welcome
Boston
to
Red
our
Sox.
current like GM. You don't have anyone else.
Craig
Even
Breslow.
07
and then
was Cora.
07 was Euclid and Cora. And 18, Jackie Bradley was just like down the street at fucking Wahlburgers, and they were like, hey, we have this idea. No one else from 2018. And then, Veritek just happened to be there. Euclid happened to be there. Do they have Middlebrooks? Do they have Middlebrooks come out for 13?
I don't think so.
No.
He was
No,
there.
They couldn't get Will.
Yeah, he was like in the Wasabi studio, and he was like, nah, fuck that.
Will's like, I don't have time for this shit.
Yeah. They had Will, and he was wearing his 13 ring on the pre and post. He was like, I don't know.
I gotta walk all the way down there. Like, it just seems like a
But
hassle.
86 was cool. 86 getting
Yeah.
Clemens
Yeah.
back and
Clemens was a big deal.
Getting Pedro back was cool for 04.
Yeah.
Like 04, like once they trotted out 86 and 04, I was like, damn, I can't wait to see who's here for 18. And it was like fucking like Adam Heisdu came out and he was like, I was on the 04 team, I guess.
I always understand their logic when they announce teams and they
Franklin
start with
Morales from 2013.
when they start with the
Please
least
welcome
known.
back Felix Dubront
It makes it tough
to
'cause,
represent
like,
your 2007 Boston Red Sox. Here's Eric Hinsky and Bobby Kelty. Hi.
It's like you guys have Pedro in the dugout and you're announcing him like Daubach's going
Your
out first.
2007 Boston Red Sox. Here's Royce Clayton. Woo! All right.
Tavern Handset coming out.
Yeah. No, that was funny. I got a giggle out of it. I just didn't want, the people that put on these ceremonies, they obviously put a lot of time and effort into it. The video package was excellent. Everything was excellent. It was just funny to me that some of the representation, I know people were angry about it. They're like, how the fuck did more guys not show up for Joe Castiglione? It's like, well, because it's a Sunday, these people have kids that play football and, it's tough. It's tough to travel. Kids have school the next day, shit like that. It is what it is. It was funny to me. But I thought that they did an awesome job letting Joe do the final inning on the Nesson broadcast.
That was great.
In to true Joe Castiglione fashion when, like you guys were saying, McDonough and Fleming are in tears and he's just like, fouls one back. That'll make it 1 and 2. 1 out. He just
Another
he
foul
doesn't.
ball stays 1 and 2.
Yeah.
All right.
Do I have a bug bite on me? I don't know what the hell's going
The
on.
bugs are coming for us. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah.
with the bugs here.
They're not
That's
fucking with
crazy.
me no more.
No.
That was a cool. Nesson deserves credit for that. That was a cool move by Nesson.
Yes.
And only on Nesson. Yeah,
Nesson.
that was neat.
I
You
just
see the
got
post-game
a
on that?
audio submission from Will Fleming. This is this is going to be the kind of put a bow on it
Mm-hmm.
ketchup submission. We'll play that later in the show. Just
Right.
received it now. What, Tyler?
Don't we have a submission?
Yeah, but it was outdated.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. An updated one.
I will say, I like the Alex Cora moment too. At the end of his presser, Castig coming in and him being like, hey man, it's your turn. You get up here. Like, thank you for everything you do in front of the media and giving him his moment, like back to his playing days. That stood out to me a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to miss when he just brings up the Yankees score only because they're losing. Like, it doesn't matter if the Red Sox are down 10. Yankees trail 5-3 in the bottom of the 8th. We head back to Fenway. Red Sox down 12-2. He will only basically let you know if the Yankees are losing. Like, it brings him great joy to know that. But yeah, him calling the game all the way through in the 9th inning, and really, you mentioned it, Jared, but he totally gave his moment to Will. Like, he totally just handed it off. That could have been way more me, and it probably, for Joe's sake, should have been more me, but that's credit to him because that's never really who he's been. He just always wants to talk about the game. That's like all he cares about. And even when they've had people in, it doesn't matter if it's Jimmy Fund, doesn't matter if it's like someone on the Revs, like the most random people ever. It's like, no, it's the game. The game is the purpose of all this, and then we can try to fit the other stuff in. But if there's a pitch coming, you better not be talking.
Could you imagine if we somehow had a hacker find out that all the get to the ball talk people in the YouTube comments, it was just Joe Castiglione the whole time?
It's Castig's this whole time.
Yeah.
Get to it, you fucking idiots.
Dude, come on.
Get to the ball talk. But yeah, no, that was a great ceremony. I thought he handled it awesome. The moment. Do we have that audio, Coley?
What was the grocery store we most associate with Castig's? Was it Shaw's?
Shaw's.
No, Shaw's
and Star
Market.
Tell him
Star
Joe
Market.
sent you.
It's both.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, it is both.
Yeah.
But none of them are Stop and Shop. That was my thought.
Half off Little
Yeah.
Debbie's cakes. Tell him Joe sent you. The 2-2. They give a poop about your pipes. I'm happy he doesn't have to do that anymore. Wasn't pumped that he ever had to do that.
Poop about your pipes.
That'll do it for Nick Pivetta. Goes 4 1/3. Not going to qualify for the win. We'll be right back. Red Sox Radio Network.
The Shaws and Star Market, Red Sox Radio Network.
Who do you call when your windshield busted? Do you remember that, Tyler?
1-877
I don't think so.
calls for kids.
Oh,
You
God.
can't do that.
No, that's in my head all the time.
I always got to turn it off.
1-877 calls for kids. Donate your car today. Do. Give us your house. Give us your kids. Cars for kids. Here's the moment that we were just referring to. This is the final out, yeah?
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Would be next. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 out. Slayton is ready. The payoff pitch. Swinging a line drive center field. Rafaela going over to his right. He stabs it. And the ball game is over. The season is over. The Red Sox beat the Tampa Bay Rays 3-1. They finish at 81-81 to end the 2024 season. Both clubs in a tie for 3rd place in the American League Eastern Division. Well, I guess it's nostalgia time here at the end of the season and the end of my career as a regular Red Sox broadcaster. We're not going to go away, but you won't see us as often. We hope to be part of the Red Sox organization for a long, long time. But I'm so blessed to have such wonderful people to work for and to work with. We talked a little while ago about my great partner, Ken Coleman, who brought me to Boston in 1983. And I would like to close, as we've done every season since Ken retired after the 1989 season, with the way he would close every season, reading from the great words of the former commissioner of baseball, president of Yale University, and longtime family friend in New Haven, Connecticut, A. Bartlett Giamatti, who wrote From the Green Fields of the Mind about the game of baseball. It breaks your heart. It is designed to break your heart. The game begins in the spring when everything else begins again. And it blossoms in the summer, filling the afternoons and evenings. And then as soon as the chill rains come, it stops and it leaves you to face the fall alone. You count on it, rely on it to buffer the passage of time, to keep the memory of sunshine and high skies alive. And just when you need it most, it stops and summer is gone. Another season is gone. My 42 years here have gone so quickly. But now it's time to say goodbye to Red Sox Nation, at least on a regular basis, and to pass the baton to my good friend, Will Fleming.
Yeah. Very
There
cool.
was a point there with the TV broadcast they picked up immediately, and all you hear is Will like crying, emotional, and Dave O'Brien's like sending it to post game. It was just like one of the weirdest like 10 to 15 seconds of all time.
I was listening on the radio, so I didn't have any of the crossover nonsense.
It did cut fast. Yeah, Will had some more stuff to say. He's like, all right, that'll do it for the season. Let's go to the post game. See you later.
TC and Jim Rice.
Yeah, take it away. I gotta
guys.
get the fuck out of here. I am sick of this shit.
Yeah, like,
But
it is what it is, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It
It's
sucks,
just,
dude. We've lost a lot of good people in the booth, man. This
Yeah.
sucks.
That's how I want to go. That's how I'm going to go. When I'm ready to retire, if they give me like the last inning or something, and they're like, all right, Jared, take it away. And I'm just like, that's the end of the Red Sox season. That's the end of the game. And I guess that's the end of my career, which means that's the end of my life.
You're just gonna kill yourself.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
that's what I was hoping for. Yeah, I
Is
was,
this after the last out, or are you doing it during the inning?
there still can't be game to play.
I don't
That would
know.
be
It depends how the
crazy.
inning's going.
You're
Caleb
just
just
sitting
comes
there,
out.
you're like, and Roman Anthony singles to right. My partner's bleeding out. He's twitching. He's still alive. He's gasping for air, but he doesn't want it.
Shit the pants. That was a violent gun.
Brains everywhere. That one would. That's you just splattered all over the studio. Like as I hand it off to my friend Tyler Milliken.
Tyler's just like,
Get
thanks,
up, J-Dog.
JC.
Yeah, Tyler would keep it going. So we do your stats recap from game 162, brought to you by Shaw's and Stuff.
Not to crap on the guy, but Jared could have handed it off to me a little smoother than that.
Yeah, Tyler's just got like blood splatter
Yeah.
all over his face. Like, all right, we're gonna wrap this thing up here after the break.
Red Sox lose
He told
4-2.
me he was going to do that. I didn't believe him, but wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
That was a
what an
plastic
honor.
gun. It's a real gun. I had no idea it's a real gun with bullets.
It's the fourth person to kill themselves in front of me. I'm used to it.
Yeah. We will be back to wrap this one up. Another tough season for the Red Sox. Back to this.
I did
Back after
think.
this. 1-877
Can you play the gun? Can you play the shots again, please? Those are so aggressive.
They're crisp.
That in a studio is
Into a microphone.
Yeah.
those. We've seen those studios. Those are small ass studios. Blood would be on every part of that.
Oh, if the bullet went clean through, it's bouncing around.
It clips me. I'll have it in
4
my leg.
shots to your own head.
to the head. He just keeps.
How do you do? Tyler's like, that was impressive. Jared went 4 for 4.
Yeah. He kept pulling the trigger after the first 3 bullets were in his head.
One last 4 for 4. Back to you guys.
I'll be there for you. I
Tyler,
promise, Jared.
gotta tip your cap.
Trying to calculate
There's
the
gonna-
exit velocity
Dude,
of my brain
dude.
on the wall.
There's going to be someone in their car that just thought you were going to have a nice, peaceful sign off, and then boom, boom, boom. They probably think they're getting shot at, honestly.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
I did think, like, during Castig's call, he was just gonna have like a mini existential crisis. He's like, "Game's over, season's over, career's over, my life's like." It just keeps freaking out.
Yeah,
Jumps
he
out
just
the window.
jumps.
Yeah.
All right, see you later. Have fun, Will.
All right, say it.
Love you, Sean.
That's how I would sign off. Because
I wouldn't
at
let
that
that
point,
happen.
that are leaving the game. Like,
yeah, at that point, it's like, all right, yeah,
In the
I've
background of those
accomplished,
guys.
I've accomplished all I've set out to do.
if you look at the blurry corner of the post game here with the handshake line, I think that's Castig's jumping out of the booth. Guys, come over here.
It's just like, I'll sign off one last time. Ba-doop, doop, doop. Doodle, doop.
Yeah, the gunshot should be the last 4 dudes.
Why is he reloading?
Doot, doot, doot. Pow, pow, pow.
There's shells going into that gun.
I can't.
How do you
I love
explain
that
this to
dirty
somebody?
water. Well, that's right,
so
Joe.
loud. Oh, they're so aggressive. Reloading just in case the 4 bullets right through
he's
his
ready
dome.
to go.
Yeah. How many bullets does this guy need?
Taking a fully loaded gun out of Jared's dead hand. I'm like, what do I do with this?
He
You
shot
would be
himself.
the idiot to put your fingerprints all over a gun of a suicide baby.
Oh, yeah. We have Tyler Milliken shooting Jared in the head 20 times.
Yeah.
Should have tipped his cat to Nick Pivetta. I'm telling you.
I'm going to come back with a Pivetta tribute after this.
I was threw up. I was laughing so hard. Oh, man. Oh,
Ooh.
that's a good one. It's a funny
Enter. No, I'm not going to do that.
Oh.
All right, that'll do it.
Yeah. This podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp.
Oh. You ever finish your broadcasting career and just want to light yourself up? Oh.
Oh my God, he's puking.
He's fine. He's got better help. He's never been
Right.
better.
Right. I've been in therapy for over 10 years. It's working.
If that's not obvious.
Whoa. Ah, damn, we love that therapy. All kinds of therapy. You got to talk things out, you know? It feels good to have someone to vent to. A neutral third party, so to speak. Very beneficial. You know, it's even more rewarding when we're doing Section 10 meet and greets and we have Section 10 listeners that are like, I've tried BetterHelp because you guys talk about BetterHelp. I'll probably have to up my BetterHelp appointments during the off season. Now it's like, you've left me alone with my thoughts. You can't do that. You can't do that. There's points where I was doing once a week. Then I was like, I think I can do every other week. During the off season, probably twice a week. You gotta adjust. It's almost like managing a fantasy baseball team. You know, you gotta adjust. And the thing that's great about BetterHelp, you can make all kinds of adjustments. If you have a therapist, well, first of all, you're gonna find a therapist quick. Second of all, if you don't like your therapist, boom. Okay, boom, we're gonna fix that for you. It's very easy to do that. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. We love that. As I just said, rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/rocket today to get 10% off your first month. That's a great deal. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/rocket. Honestly, probably the cleanest transition to an ad read maybe ever. That was
First place.
mhm.
We'll find out if they agree.
Yeah,
A lot of
I feel
people.
maybe they won't. but I think that they might. BetterHelp's been ride or die with us for a long time, so I would like to think that they know what they signed up for here with the 10. Okay, yeah, we talked about Joe Castig. Dave Mellor, the fucking man. I did not know that he was stepping away until they said it on the broadcast on Saturday. Completely caught off guard. The last time that I saw him was Section 10 night. Talked to him on the field. And I talked to him a few days ago because if you remember the podcast after Section 10 night, I said that I had met a family, father, mother, daughter, probably about 7. And I wanted to get them on the field, and I got pushed in a different direction. I didn't get to meet back up with them, and I felt horrible about it. So I told them, if you're listening, to reach back out. They did. They're big Section 10 fans. And I was like, okay, I would like to make it up to you, and I would like to get you guys on the field before a game. Well, that game was today, Sunday, the season finale. And last night, my girlfriend gets emergency surgery at fucking midnight. And we come home at 6:30 in the morning, and she's dying on the couch all day. She's fine. She's okay. I mean, she's in pain,
she's leaking,
but she's leaking. You know what?
Is that a wrong description?
It's not your place.
Was it a needed one?
Yeah. She'll be okay. She's in rough shape right now, but she'll be okay. So the Flood family, they were kind enough to be like, you know what? You stay there. And I was like, well, I can, still take care of you guys. We'll get you on the field. And that was, the final, I guess, act of kindness facilitated through Dave that I didn't know that I was going to be doing. I mean, Dave has helped me do stuff like this for fans for many years now, where, I've met tons of people that have, these stories, and they're just, you want to give them that really cool fan experience. And, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I'm at the point now in my career where I've pretty much done everything that I've ever hoped to do, plus more. All the stuff that I dreamed of doing, I've done that. And then I've done stuff that I never even dreamed of doing. So now I get my enjoyment out of helping give those experiences to other people. Seeing Tyler go on the field at Fenway for the first time was really fucking cool. Seeing him get in the dugout for the first time, really cool. Seeing Jake get on the field for the first time a couple of years ago, very cool. What was it, Mother's Day last year? Bringing my mom out to put the bases in on Mother's Day, very fucking cool to be able to do that for people that I know will really appreciate it. None of that happens without someone like Dave Mellor. He's the head grounds crew guy, but he's so much more than that. He is a facilitator of amazing experiences for Red Sox fans. That's the shit that he cares about. A huge mental health advocate. If you haven't read his book, definitely check it out. But I found out, obviously, like everyone else did during the game on Saturday, and usually when stuff like that happens, I'll give it some time to simmer. I'm not going to reach out immediately. I'll give it a little bit, but I sent him a message. He sent me a fucking awesome message in return. I didn't even expect to hear from him right away. He got right back with a paragraph long text message, which, I'll keep between he and I, but I did kind of want to share his follow-up. Because it just kind of speaks to the guy that he is. If you ever have an opportunity to give a shout out, please give it to my colleagues, full-time and seasonal part-time. I would not be where I am without the incredible help and support of so many incredible people who have helped me throughout my career. I am blessed to work with amazing colleagues, both full-time and seasonal / part-time, who I've had the privilege to work with throughout my career as these coworkers grind out hours every day and night helping make it all happen. I'm extremely grateful and proud of their many, many contributions. They are the heartbeat to getting it all done day in and day out. I appreciate their friendship and dedication more than words can describe. They are in all kinds of weather, making it all work no matter the conditions and challenges faced to help achieve goals of keeping the field safe and playable. I can't give them all a big enough credit and shout outs as they certainly earned it, and my respect and appreciation. Thanks again. Hope y'all have an epic day. So he's just, I mean, another guy that that's his thing. Like, he wants to give these great experiences to Red Sox fans, but he knows that for all the praise that he gets for doing his job, keeping Fenway looking as amazing as it does, that can't happen without all of his people. And they all speak just as highly of him as he does of them.
I think the list of people that genuinely care as much as Dave Mellor is extremely small. Like, the more you go about the day-to-day, and there's a lot of people at Fenway that matter. And today, you know, 2 of them retired. Like, losing Castiglione and Dave. Yeah. Pam, obviously, our guy Billie. Yeah. No, it's a long list. I guess I look at Dave Mellor and Joe Castiglione a little bit differently because they've been here the whole century. Like, the entire century at Fenway Park, you would see one, if not both of them at the park. But yeah, Dave is just a genuinely nice person that he's not just nice to like get nice points. Like, he's actually goes out of his way to be nice to people and to actually care about other people. Our family dog Bristol had passed away last year, and we had Dave on ITM a little bit before, like a few months before, and we obviously talked about his dog. And Dave sent me the nicest message of all time. It was like you had just mentioned. It's nothing short. It's always a long paragraph that's very heartfelt, and I'll never forget that. And he's somebody that Fenway Park would not be the same without him. I care a lot about the designs in the field. Like, I love when they would like put that up there of like, you vote on the design. I'm like, I wonder what it's going to be. That 2013 run when he had like the Boston Strong in the outfield and all that was great. So yeah, it sucks because like I wanted to see him today. I was looking for him and he wasn't there. And that I just wanted to say thank you to him because he's been a super nice person and he's mattered a lot to not just Fenway Park, but he's been in Major League Baseball for like 40 years. He's mattered a lot to the game.
Mm-hmm.
I can't relate on a personal level, but I will say today I went back and watched like the ESPN documentary. Like, it was like 5 or 6 minutes, whatever it was, that they did on Drago, his last dog that had passed away, I believe, in 2022. If you want to cry, and Dave's story on its own of what he's overcome in his life to get to this point is incredible. But to hear that relationship with his dog, and it's all filmed prior to his passing, but it kind of depicts everything you guys have said perfectly and like who the guy is. And if you love dogs, you'll immediately love Dave because like I don't think I've ever seen someone love dogs and appreciate dogs to the level he does.
And I really hope he can get a ceremony next season because it doesn't feel right to not have a Dave Mellor ceremony.
Yeah,
for how much he's mattered.
Yes, absolutely. Dave has Drago's paw print tattooed, I believe, on his chest. And he had asked me, who's your tattoo guy? So he went to my tattoo guy to get Drago's paw print. It's going to be very, very, very strange to go to Fenway and not see Dave. Like, that's going to be super strange. But like the list continues. Pam Ganley, Kenn, I think, who was it? Euclid who said, he was like, yeah, Pam Ganley, Kenn, because, all these people that like met her before she got married. It's kind of like, your high school teachers. It's like, yeah, like they got married after I graduated. So like, I don't know them as their married name, but, Pam is fucking awesome. I think Euclid described her as like the big sister of like the players, but like it goes to everybody. Like, she has been so fucking cool to me for years. Like, probably at this point, like a decade of knowing Pam. And you can see why she's so great at her job because she's so easy to like and get along with. And she just has that like no nonsense, no bullshit mentality. And she'll tell you, she'll shoot you straight. She'll give you she's not by the book. She'll just fucking shoot you straight, which I think people in Boston definitely appreciate a lot. The sweetest person that you could ever meet. And it's just cool to hear, how far she's come in her career through the players that were here 20 years ago, or whatever, not to date you, Pam. But like the players that were here a while ago, they're like, yeah, like it's cool to see how, she's made it her whole way through the organization. She's been awesome to me, not like on a professional level, but on a personal level. We've had many conversations that have nothing to do with baseball. Like she's someone that I can give a call to her about personal life things, and she'll always pick up. She'll always give me the time of day. These are like hour long conversations if you need it. So that's someone else that is just going to be very odd to not see around Fenway anymore, because I don't remember a time where Pam wasn't there. So again, best wishes to Pam in her next endeavor. She's the fucking best. And then last but not least, Billie Weiss, the Red Sox team photographer, who it was very cool, but also like I felt like I didn't deserve it, Steve. You know,
I know.
Like,
yeah, me too.
He texted Steve and I being like, "Hey, do you guys have time for like a Zoom call?" And I was like, "What project is this gonna?" I was like, "This could be cool." I was like, "This could be something, you know, where we could do a little Section 10 Red Sox like photography like collab." I mean, like this is like never in my wildest dreams would I have been like, "Oh, he wants to tell us that he's leaving the Red Sox." I
thought that was a project the whole time. No doubt.
I was stunned. Had no idea. But I mean, it meant the world to me that he asked for a call with Steve and I to let us know that this year would be it. And again, very sad because he's been fucking awesome to the podcast. And in the early days, especially when we were just, and I mean, you can call me out, Steve. I just said we, but it was really you. When we were making graphics to promote the earlier episodes, put a percentage on it. 98% were Billie's photos.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
98%.
I think at the lowest 95% was his stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That we were just ripping from the team accounts. Yep.
Correct. Yep.
We were ripping it.
We were ripping the shit out of those pictures and tweeting them to promote all those earlier episodes. But yeah, I think, Billie's photography has undeniably elevated this podcast because we've been able to use it to promote the social media. The social media promotes the podcast, and that's how you attract more people. And it's because he's always had the best shots, like he's always there, and he always has like, it's nothing about his photography is generic. It's just, hey, here's a really cool image, but like, how can we make it even cooler? Like, what angle could we take? Like, what position could we be in to get the perfect shot? And he always does it. And we've used his photography a ton. We talked to him, Steve, about doing a very cool project in
very
his
excited about that
post Red Sox career, which he was very into. And I think it'll be awesome content for us and him to be able to get together and do that. I mean, we could just kind of say what it is. Like,
let's just say it.
Yeah. We're going to give him the assignment of like picking out however many he wants. Like, we don't have to put a number on it. Let's say it's 10, let's say it's 20 of his favorite shots from his entire career. And we'll go sit down with him and do kind of like not a vlog, but like a podcast that's on video where he is holding up these shots and then telling us the story behind all of them and kind of just like reliving his tenure as the Red Sox team photographer.
When it comes to the photographers of not just the Red Sox or Major League Baseball or any professional team, I understand how seriously they take that role and how seriously they take the rights to all of their content. I am going to be in debt to Billie forever for how I don't want to say unserious, but how kind he was in allowing us to use his stuff without. We tried to credit him as much as we possibly could, but
we credited the shit out of him.
We did it as a team, as a unit. But when I was cutting the promos in the earlier days of Section 10, not anywhere near as good as our guy Jeremy, it was they would have just straight up sucked if we didn't have Billie's photos. Like they would have been trash. And the fact that he captures the most important part of the game just as well as he captures like a moment in the third inning that might not even matter that much is a testament to how talented he is, that he's always on. He's constantly thinking of the next thing to do. That's probably what I was most impressed with Billie, is that every year he'd have this new creative idea to do with the team. Remember he had like Raffy running through the sprinklers, and it's just like kind of a random idea, but it was like hilarious, and the photos turned out great, and he was laughing like a kid the whole time. My favorite thing that he ever did was that the photo wall for Alex Cora's office, having, a photo of each win of the 2018 team. So yeah, there's no way to describe how much he's mattered, not just to the Red Sox and to the players on the team, getting good pictures for the IG, to put up there. I'm sure those guys love that. But he's mattered to this show so much. And you're right, Jared, when he set up a meeting for us, I'm thinking like
this is gonna be awesome.
I know. I'm just thinking like, all right, this is gonna be whatever it is.
Finally,
it's gonna be sick.
An official collab. Yeah,
we've been waiting on this. He's like, so I'm leaving the Red Sox. I'm like, damn it, dude. But no, credit to him to think of us, to let us know of that news. Got to talk to him a little bit today, and very excited about this project we have coming up. It's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. That video, and I know. The best part of it is I know that he's going to like take his time with choosing the photos and.
Well, when we've had him on doing this, he's so good at describing it. Like just because you're a good photographer doesn't mean that you're good at like talking and like presenting your work. He's great at it. Like he was on Section 10 during COVID, and we were like, all right, let's have Billie on. This would be great. And that was one of my favorite episodes in the show's history because not only can we then definitely use those photos because he's on and we don't have to feel bad about it, but he's giving these like, behind the scenes of like, this is what Poppy told me like right before the shot. And Mookie came to me with this idea. And I just love that stuff. That behind the scenes stuff gets me going. And he has those stories for days. So I'm excited to hear him.
Yeah. And now that we have the reigning, defending, undisputed champion of videography, Mike Emond, it's going to be fucking sweet. Like we're going to have, it's basically going to be that, but on steroids. So that would be very cool. But yeah, so I tweeted that earlier. I was like, this day is about Joe Castiglione, but there's a lot of other people that today was also their last day, and it's fucking like I like Joe Castiglione means a lot to me because of who he is and what he has done in his career. But I don't think I've ever had a conversation with him. Like he's been around. Like no one's ever introduced me to him.
He's not really about chopping it up. He's about calling the games. Like I would be in the EEI booth a lot during that ITM stretch. He's not about talking to people. He's about calling the game. That's like all he wanted to do.
Yeah. No one ever. And like I know his son, Duke, like I'm pretty good friends with Duke, but I've never been introduced to Joe, and I never had the balls to go up to him and introduce myself because I knew I don't think he would fucking care. And I'm just like, like I'd be like, hey, Joe, nice to meet you. I'd be like, okay, that's very nice.
All right. Heading down to my seat. Game starts soon.
Yeah. Like it just would have crushed me. So I never really talked to him, but Dave,
dude,
he's fucking awesome. Yeah. He just be like, nice to meet you, Jason.
Yeah.
But
dude, when you played the audio of when Will was giving you a shout out, and he's just like, well, cool enough. The 2-2. Yeah. Can you play it again? This is
I gotta find that. Where is it? When was that?
It's probably a couple weeks.
When it was announced. So is that August?
No,
it would have been recently. like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Let's see.
Yeah, the promo was from September 17th.
Yeah. Here it is.
Outside.
Well, Joe, so many kind messages pouring in online, social media about you. Understandable wave of sadness throughout Red Sox Nation at your news. Two people talking about how much they will miss you and how much you've been the soundtrack of their lives.
Pitch fouled at the backstop. Well, it's so kind of them.
I think Jared Carrabis, our good buddy, summarized it just about perfectly. He said, this is the end of an era. Joe Castiglione's voice is a portal back to my childhood and the soundtrack to all of the most memorable Red Sox moments of my entire life. Hell of a career, and congrats on your retirement, legend.
Well, thank you so much. There's a ball low.
So good.
I gotta say too, like Jared, that was probably one of the best like combos of words you've ever put together. Yeah. That was like perfectly said, and he just didn't care at all.
That's
He's
a ball low.
Like...
That's awesome. But that's exactly what I wanted from him.
Yeah.
Like what was he gonna do? Be like, that was really nice. You should give him my number so I can get in touch with him. And personally, I think no. It's just like, anyways, that's a ball. That counts now 3-1. Like I got a Joe Castiglione moment out of it. But yeah, just to put a bow on it, Dave Mellor, Pam Kenn, and Billie Weiss, 3 amazing individuals who were very, very, very good at their jobs and even better people and friends of ours who are entering that next chapter in life. They're not done with us. Like we'll still harass them whenever we can. So they're not gone, but they won't be at Fenway as often as they once were, and that sucks. So for that, I say we pour out a Blue Moon for those four. Just got to tip your cap, crack a Blue Moon, because some beers can say they're brewed for baseball, but only Blue Moon is brewed by baseball. Beer and baseball, they just go together. And no beer goes better than the one that was literally born in a ballpark. Blue Moon was created at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. It's the natural choice for opening day and all season long. How many Blue Moons would you say you have this season, Jake?
Probably can't even put a number on it, but I definitely had a few tonight watching Castig's retirement ceremony. So you did. That was perfect.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it. You know, if it's a moment to celebrate, it's Blue Moon. From its refreshing flavor with Valencia orange peel for a subtle sweetness and hints of coriander, Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale is a one-of-a-kind beer that's made brighter. It's carefully crafted and full-flavored with refreshing notes and a smooth, creamy finish. Blue Moon was brewed by baseball to give you a dose of nostalgia and get you excited for the new season. Why strike out with the same old beer when you can get something that is one of a kind? It's from its bold flavor, bright explosion of color, and iconic orange slice ritual. It guarantees a one-of-a-kind beer experience that is perfect for spring weather. Best served with its signature orange garnish to showcase its beautiful hazy color. A beer this good only comes around once in a blue moon, but you can enjoy it all season long. Bring the ballpark to you with Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale. It's a one-of-a-kind every time. Get Blue Moon delivered by visiting get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared to see your delivery options. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared. Blue Moon, made brighter, celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. I'll ask you guys, when would you like to play the Will Fleming audio submission? Does that feel like a back-end thing, or is it, Tyler?
What's the length?
Will? Probably like 9 inches.
At least.
Girthy.
Yeah. Dude, he's tall dude.
He's like 6'8", so he's probably got a hammer.
Big meat gang.
Yeah.
We talked to him a little bit today. He gets taller every time. He's the tallest dude.
About his cock, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about his dick size today, and I was like, how's it doing lately?
Yeah.
He said 9.
Yeah. It's a 9er.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What do you think, Coley? Back end or right now?
Is it the season MVP?
I don't really know what it is because I don't listen to them.
Sure. All right.
I don't listen to them. I try to get the raw reaction.
Now kind of feel we're coming off Castig stuff. This kind of feels right.
I agree.
It is a 2 minute and 9 second audio clip.
9. There you go.
See, there
Right
you go.
now.
That was a message. Subliminal. You want to do it now?
Mm-hmm.
Does now feel good?
We'll do it live. Fuck.
The Clark's Ketchup Season MVP brought to you by Clark's Ketchup. Drizzle that ketchup. Well, it's come down to this. Did they win the series? They did, right?
No.
No, they didn't.
Nope.
They were going to get
They
swept.
lost. Yep.
Okay. Well, it's the season MVP, so it doesn't matter. This is actually, I expected Steve to be wearing a banana costume for this podcast, and I thought...
I got the split up.
You got the thing, but like they split, so I feel like you were going to be a banana.
Yeah.
Do you
I got the
have
split
do you
sign
have
up.
do you have a banana that you can
This
put?
isn't me saying I don't know where I put the costume.
You don't know where the costume is.
This isn't me saying that.
What is it you saying then?
I'm not saying that.
Oh. But what would you say in this position where there was a season split and you're not a banana?
I would say, damn, where's that costume at? That's probably what I would say.
Yeah. What's the answer to that
I
question?
feel like it's what we're all saying in our
Yeah.
own
Yeah,
like-
no.
Yeah.
That's a good question. It's just like, where's that thing at, right? Like, that's
Right.
probably what I would say.
So let's just say hypothetically, right?
Yeah.
Let's say someone asks you that question, Steve Peral. What are you saying to that?
Oh, hypothetically, I'd be like,
Yeah.
not sure, brother. Like, I don't know exactly where that is, but that's
Yeah.
not like my real answer. That's just like in this made up situation.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I'm just saying, like, how many places could a banana costume be?
See, that's a fair question.
Yeah.
Then again, I think I wore it in May, so it's been a while.
Do you still
I've
live in the
moved
same place that you lived?
I
in
do,
May,
but
or-
moved a lot of stuff
Yeah,
around.
Yeah, yeah.
What
So-
square footage on where you live? 20, 30,000 square feet?
We're up to 40,000.
40,000.
All right.
You added on.
Yep.
Yeah,
In this apartment building, right, in Boston, we added
Right.
on an extra
Building out.
10,000.
10,000.
Yeah, we just went to the right.
Yeah,
Classic. I said, give me 10K to the right, please. They're like, all right.
yeah. So, I mean, it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've never worn it. Is it one piece?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, and you would say, in your words, Steve, would you
Hypothetically.
say the banana is yellow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, in theory, if you're looking for it, feels like it would stand out amongst other.
In theory, yeah. Hypothetically, yes.
Yeah.
In theory, yes. Like, for sure.
Mhm.
But again, I just added 10,000 square feet
Square
to my
feet.
apartment.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're like missing that part.
10,000 is a lot, Tyler.
That's a
Does
lot.
it need to be washed?
No.
What?
Wait, why did
What
that
do you
matter?
think he
I
does
lose
in
a
the
lot of
banana?
clothes in my laundry. Like I'll put a shirt in there or a sock, and I'll
You think
never
he's
see
just
it again.
wearing it, like not?
Just like peeing in it?
Yeah.
That's how I lost my shiesty.
You peed on it?
No, I put it in the laundry, and whatever my mom did with the laundry, I never saw it again.
I met your mom.
Nice lady.
I met your mom too.
No.
He's always got to go there. He always says it
Yeah.
a certain way.
Yeah, you
It just
say it
doesn't-
weird.
What do you
You said-
mean?
You
You
said
got a little
it- you
smirk
s-
on your face, though.
Yeah, I didn't like how you looked when you said that.
I enjoyed talking and meeting to Ellen. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Felt good.
But you did.
Okay. I don't.
Real good.
Yeah. Didn't have to. Whoa.
Felt good. What?
My dad
Emotionally?
listens to this podcast.
Please spare my life. I'm gonna put my hands up here and apologize.
He definitely knows people who know people who kill people. For
I don't
sure.
fear anyone in the world
Facts.
more than your dad. He looks like Chuck Norris.
Yeah. Sometimes
Very nice to Martha though.
he's very nice to everybody.
Super nice guy until you give him a reason not to be.
Yeah, unless you maybe you say something about his wife or something.
I never would do that. Don't start that.
Or if you don't have those courtside seats to the Celtics.
Right.
You know.
Why do you think Coley pays him off? Coley's always giving him Celtics tickets, the best tickets,
Mm-hmm.
like the best that Game Time has to offer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He doesn't have to use the new feature called Game Time Picks,
No.
although that does make getting tickets to your favorite live events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Coley, roughly speaking, how many times have you used the Game Time app just for my dad?
I mean, they play 82 games, 41 of which at home, and then they go deep in the playoffs every year, even if they don't cut down the nets, which they did, defending world champions. We did it.
We did it.
At least 60 per.
Mhm.
And I'm part of the reason they came up with the feature you're talking about, because I was scrolling through all 1,000. Like, you know how when you click on the ticket, it'll show you the picture from the seat.
Mhm.
I took all those pictures at the Garden just to be
Right.
like, me and your dad had a nice sit down, and it was like when you go to the optometrist and they're like, number 1, number 2,
Yep.
number 1. So I would be like, this seat directly one over, one more over.
Mm.
Show me the first one again. I'd be
Mm-hmm.
like, this one. He'd be like, can I see it 3 rows back? And I'd be like, so that took a couple days.
Yeah.
All told.
Yeah.
So now I was like, there's so much fucking fluff Game Time. Can we
Right.
figure this out? They said,
Right.
we're getting the fluff out.
Yeah, he can be a little bit of a ticket snob, huh?
I didn't say it. You did. I don't want those problems in my life.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. He's he can be a little bit of a diva, where it's not always the closest seat. Like in his eyes, like the best seat is just like it has to have sentimental value.
Right.
It's immediately going to have sentimental value when the McMahon gets you that courtside seat. But that's why Game Time is the best. Game Time Picks curation makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. You toggle that all-in pricing feature. Not that this matters to my dad. He doesn't pay for anything. You toggle that feature and it shows the total upfront for Coley with no surprise fees at checkout. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. Shout out to Coley for taking those pictures in the seats for the app, and the lowest price guarantee. My dad's got the lowest price guarantee every time because he don't pay for them. But if you don't get the lowest price, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. And your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry today. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code SECTION10 for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the promo code SECTION10 for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Coley, what time is it?
Game time!
Game time. It is game time. And it's also Will Fleming time. Will Fleming time. Let us begin.
Well, boys, what a day. I'm still kind of processing it all, recovering from it all. Just this crazy mix of emotions as, we all said goodbye to a friend and, my best friend sitting next to me for the last 6 years. Said goodbye to a thankful Red Sox Nation, and what a thrill to work with him all these years and to sit next to him through ups and downs and to watch him master his craft and to be able to call him one of my best friends in the whole world. So I think as people heard, it was super emotional for me. And nothing will ever be the same in that Red Sox radio booth without Joe. It's also the end of a season, which marks its own sort of emotional turning of the page. And we all hope that when we reconvene next year, and certainly at the end of the regular season in 2025, we're talking about happier things, playoffs, and all that comes with that. Lou and I recorded a final drizzle after the series win earlier this week, and I felt like that one now is a little dated with all that has happened between now and then. But, in that message, Lou and I both talked about what you guys all mean to us and how much fun we had coming on together and how much we look forward to doing that in the future. And hopefully that can happen. There's still things to be figured out. Hopefully in due time, we'll have all those answers and we can all be back together. But truly, you guys bring such light to Red Sox fans, and you make everything about it so much more fun, even in years like this when it can be a little challenging. And we love being a part of it in the way that we are. So, last week we named Jaron the season MVP, which is obviously the easiest call of all time. But for me, the only way to end this season and this entry is to say that the all-time Clark's Ketchup lifetime MVP is Joe motherfucking Castiglione.
Yeah!
Boom sauce.
I love that.
That's great.
Joe Castig, the lifetime. We need to get him a giant bottle of ketchup. Joe Castiglione getting a giant.
What the fuck is this?
Did you get this from
Use this
Shaw's?
for.
Shaw's or Star Market?
Did you tell him Joe sent you?
Yeah. That's incredible.
I'm a catsup man myself.
They just hand him this giant bottle of ketchup, and he's just like,
Smashes it, takes it, slices his throat.
Good times. Well, I think that brings us to the Kenley Jansen part of the program.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some thoughts, and I feel like people expected me to be like raging about this. I'm not. All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it before Coley says anything. because we all know where Coley is.
I have the quotes pulled
What the
up.
fuck does that mean?
We saw your tweets. Fucking,
The ones at you?
No, you had a whole thread about it. Tyler, please.
3 things.
Tyler, please, the quotes.
So Sean McAdam put out in his Sunday column, just, things going on around sports that he likes to hit on. This is what he had to say on Kenley Jansen leaving early. Multiple players, all of whom spoke on the condition of, how do you say that?
Anonymity.
That's
Anonymity.
a hard one. Thank you. Registered their disappointment.
No.
over
Try it. Try saying it.
anonymity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Registered their disappointment over Jansen's early departure, though one added, I can't say I'm too surprised. Jansen was known to be somewhat aloof during his time with the Sox, at times unsure of some teammates' names. Continuing on from when he got placed on the IL, according to one Red Sox player, Jansen entered the training room last Sunday before his team split doubleheader with the Minnesota Twins and announced that he would pitch in the first game, and that would be it. Indeed, somewhat strangely, he pitched the top of the 9th of a game in which the Sox were leading by 8 runs. He later told reporters that he was done pitching for the season and suggested they confirm that with the team. After the second game, following some confusion from team officials throughout the day, Cora revealed that Jansen was dealing with a sore shoulder and would pitch again in the final week, or wouldn't pitch again in the final week. Do you want Cora's comments as well from today?
Sure.
They feel pertinent.
Yes. So initially asked, what's going on with that situation? Are players upset? He goes, I don't know. Pax is not here. James Paxton. Nobody's talking about that. The reporter
is not here. Why are we not roasting him?
The reporter goes, Paxton also has a nameplate up
I haven't
on his
heard these
locker.
yet. This is great.
Yeah, this is from Christopher Smith, by the way. The reporter goes, well, Paxton has a nameplate up on his locker still, and Jansen doesn't. Cora goes, I told Kenley to go home, so if they're upset, they should come to my office and ask me. We talked during the week. There's other stuff that is going on with Kenley too, but the manager decided for him, hey, we're out of it, so if you want to go home, you go home, and he went home.
Okay, lot to unpack here. First thing that needs to be said about the McAdam piece. The first
You can say, fuck James Paxton for not being here.
Take that James Paxton locker tag down. That's got to come down.
Get it out.
That's issue
Dude's
number
retired. He's legit retired.
He's literally fucking retired.
Easy.
I mean, could not be more retired. Just look at him. Item number 2. And I love Sean McAdam. Work together on television. Enjoy conversations about music every time I see him. But the anecdote about he doesn't even remember people's names. David Ortiz had no clue what anybody's name was.
Ever.
No clue. That's why his name is Big Papi, is because he called everyone Papi because he didn't know their names. So if you're David Ortiz, apparently you can know nobody's name, and that's fine. But if you're Kenley Jansen, then it's an issue. So that anecdote, didn't care for it. It's whatever. And it's actually it's more funny to me than like
Very
proof that he doesn't give a shit or whatever. Like he's just not a name guy. Tyler,
I will say the clip of everyone sending around on Twitter right now of him trying to think of Tyler O'Neill's name, and it's
very
taking
funny.
him like 10-15 seconds is absolutely hilarious with this
it's very funny.
context.
Yeah,
Well,
that
the
wasn't
other part,
something.
With the not knowing of the names, these cowards speaking anonymously, you could have put your whole fucking social security. Kenley has no idea who you are. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. If you say what your name is, he's not going to know.
He's gonna be like, "Who the fuck is that?"
Mickey Gass was just waiting.
Raphael Devers? Who the fuck?
Kevin Durant doesn't like me. It's Jared Duran, Kenley. He played center.
Yeah. So I mean, there's obviously scuttlebutt rumors going around about why he left and why the locker tag came down. We're not gonna do rumor talk. That's not up. If someone happened to report these rumors, then we can discuss them. But yeah, there's murmurs about maybe players that called him out to his face about like leaving, or had derogatory things to say about his decision to part ways with the team. Individuals that were very pissed off. Some of those names have been rumored and thrown around. But at the end of the day, I think I have to look at it a multitude of ways. First and foremost, if I'm a teammate of his on the team in the clubhouse, I'm furious. me, Jared Carabas, Red Sox podcaster, Red Sox fan, whatever, like fucking leave that. Like it's fun. Like you're not going to be on the team next year. I can't really get that worked up about it as a fan because he's not coming back. He was nice enough to come on the podcast. We had the Kenley boys. It was fun. We had a great run with the Kenley boys this year.
He did his job on the mound.
Yeah, he had a fine season. He pitched pretty damn good for the 2 year. He was an all-star last year. And he was pretty damn reliable as a closer this year as well. And again, came on the podcast, was very nice to us. His family leaned into the Kenley boys thing. Kenley leaned into the Kenley boys thing. So Jared, the podcaster, I'm not mad. I can't be mad. Coley?
Kenley shared the podcast on Instagram way more times than Tyler did this season.
That's true.
Whoa, what
that's
do you
true.
mean?
No, that's true.
I think that is a fact.
That is true.
Serious?
No, yeah, that's true.
I feel like I'm pretty good about that now.
You're not. No.
Oh, no.
Coley's right. So I get it. Like if I am one of the players that's going to be here next year, yeah, I'm probably really mad that, because the whole thing about it, okay, because wasn't there a note or they said it on Nesson? Like, did Euclid say on Nesson that he told the team he's not hurt or like he could have pitched or like he's just it was not injury related? And that
it's
it was
been
something
that
like,
in that part of the article as well that seemingly he shut himself down instead of the team being like, hey, you can't pitch anymore.
Right.
But what was the part where it's like he acknowledged that he couldn't pitch, but he can only do one more? That he was hurt, but he can do one more, which is kind of weird, right? It's like, I'm not feeling great, but I can pitch today.
He also threw his hardest pitch of the season.
Right. But in like a blowout, right? Which was kind of weird.
It was like 8-1. Yeah. It was just, it felt weird, like the entire 2-year tenure of Kenley Jansen. It's like he was signed on the false pretense that the Red Sox would be a contender, that they would be in the postseason. They made him promises that they did not keep. And it kind of was just closed out. Like, all right, you didn't keep your promise. So I'm like, I'm not keeping my promise. Like, fuck you. So, but again, from the teammate perspective, I would be mad. From the fan perspective, I don't care that much. Like, his season was over. He wasn't going to pitch again. He's not coming back next year. He's not some lifelong Red Sox. He did a podcast 2 months ago saying like, I can't wait to pitch for the Dodgers again. Like he's a Dodger. He's a Dodger at heart. That's where he made his name for himself. That's where when he goes into the Hall of Fame, if he gets there, he'll go in as a Dodger. Like he's not, it was nice to have him for a couple of years, but he's not our guy. He's their guy. And that's where his heart is. And I think it's a bad look for Kenley to not be here for the last 3 games, but am I going to condemn him and be like, fuck this guy? You can't say get the fuck out of here because he's already out of here and he wasn't coming back. So the anger to me, I don't have it. But I do think that we need someone to clarify the story because I was trying to say on Twitter because Alex Cora was trying to be the player's manager. Say, I'm the one that told him to go home. Okay, but how did you tell him to go home?
Yeah, he contradicted himself in the quote.
Yeah, like, did you say...
I don't think that's contradictory.
Did you say, you can go home if you want? Like, it's kind of like, it's like when your girlfriend's like, yeah, go out with your boys.
Exactly.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go have a great time. She doesn't mean go out and have a great time. She means stay home with me and watch fucking Grey's Anatomy. That's what she means. But to say to Kenley, yeah, if you want to go home and be with your family, then go. They were expecting him to be like, no, you know what? I signed here. I made a commitment. These are my teammates, my brothers. I'm going to ride it out. Even if I can't pitch. Like, it's 3 games. It's 3 games.
If I can't name 3 fucking people in this locker room.
But if I don't know these brothers, they're my
brothers.
These
are my blood brothers. You got fucking Taryn O'Neill.
Do.
Yeah. You got Reggie Devers over there.
Timothy something.
Dafiel Revers, man.
Jared Duran.
Yeah.
Love these guys. Ricky Martin, one of my favorite bullpen mates.
Him posting the vote for what is it, all
Very
MLB thing today, and unbelievably funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't get worked up about it. If he signed a 3-year deal and he was coming to spring training, then it's like, okay, yeah, this is a huge problem. Yeah, like this is a huge problem. But he ain't coming back, and it is what. Thank you for your 2 years. Like he held up his end of the bargain, and it is what it is.
It also doesn't help, to some degree. And I agree with your comments about being disappointed as a teammate, but you signed his replacement already in Liam Hendriks. And, we saw that during spring training kind of play out once he entered that thing. And it was like, hey, like the closer for 2025 has already arrived. Many were saying this was going to be the closer after the trade deadline because the expectation was you were going to sell Kenley, and that was going to kind of be the path of things. I do wonder in the clubhouse, like the messaging, Kenley and Devers, I'd say were the only two players that really spoke out on their own, saying they were disappointed with where the team was at, from a talent perspective and what the front office had done. And then you saw the other group, which I'd say was like Trevor Story, the Jaron Durans of the world that were like, hey, if you doubt us, go fuck yourself. You don't believe in us. Is that a little bit of that separation here where some of those guys, like, they kind of felt like, well, hey, you weren't buying into that kind of message. You were seemingly kind of down on the team and didn't think we had enough talent. So it's fuck you now that you left and you chose not to ride it out. I wonder if a little bit of that sits there.
Yeah, you got to remember, Trevor is a Colorado guy, so he sees a Dodger start talking in his locker room. He gets real riled up. I think Jared was very fair with everything he said. I don't think he's stressed enough how funny it is that a player anonymously was like, he doesn't even know my name. Like, if you're afraid of, I don't even know what you're afraid of at that point. I almost don't think it was any players who said anything to McAdams. Like, I very much believe this came from something we haven't talked about yet. John Henry, who wasn't
John Henry doesn't even know Kenley's
I don't think
on
he'd
the
say
team.
multiple players. Sean McAdams not going to say multiple players if no players say anything.
No.
The fact that this has happened long before, like we've said, not a lot of people of any tenure on this team in that clubhouse. They just happen to carry the baton that the front office has had all these years. I find that to be very strange.
I'm going to tell you right now, like, I obviously have not been around the team a lot this year, but I talk to people who are, and just some of the people that walk around like they're David Ortiz in there, but they're just not, kind of crazy.
Then
like there are people.
That's a much larger problem.
That's a whole separate issue.
I think that's a fair part of this conversation.
Whenever I said it, like whatever it was, 2 weeks ago, that I said that there's a pecking order problem on the team.
Sure, yeah.
That's what I mean by that, where there are people that would barely be seeing playing time on good teams, like playoff teams. Like they're not even seeing the field. They walk around that clubhouse like they're fucking Big Papi and they should have 2 lockers put together. And, like there's that going on right now. There just is. Great. And yeah, I know. And like one of the things that I heard was that, remember when Netflix took a month off because of budget issues? So when they came back, and the Red Sox won two or three straight games. When Netflix came back, some of the guys were like, "Oh, now you want to show up, and now fuck you, now you want to document this shit." And it's like, no, dude,
they had no money.
Yeah, we ran into budget issues. It wasn't like we gave up on you guys and then we came back because you're playing better. It's like we just didn't have the budget, and yeah, it went from guys wanting to participate in the Netflix thing to when they left for a month and came back, the guys were like, "No, fuck you, I'm not wearing the mic anymore," shit like that. It's like, why are you acting like, man, you didn't believe in us, but now you want? It's like, no, you still are mid. You're still mid.
Exactly, mid.
You were mid before. You're mid now. You were mid when we were gone. You're mid when we came back. You're a mid baseball team. Yeah, I don't know. It's just
that's where when we settle on, and I know we're doing it in good faith, and I haven't done it. So we as a show, when we're like, this guy's a leader, it's like I pray they aren't. They can't be, because you see what leads this team. For the Kenley thing specifically, I do it just reads every free agent that leaves, they have to say something about that.
But don't you think players would have spoke out today? Where
what?
They would have came out
it? Yeah, no one said anything against
nobody
it.
said that. That's bullshit.
No,
that's a fake report.
I think Cora told him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
oh no, I think Cora said if the players are there, come and talk to me, right? Which is kind of defending.
He's saying keep it in the locker room. He's saying if you got a problem with this, you got a problem with me. He's saying shut the fuck up.
I think that's why it exists, though. I think it's clear that there are people who felt that way.
I'm not saying no one feels this way. And that's why I said I think Jared kind of nailed everything, but it's a Kenley thing. People are going to expect me to talk about it. I largely thought it was funny. I sent out a tweet that you can tell how, like, people never liked Kenley. There were a large contingent of the fan base never wanted him here. And this was something that, even when Cora said this pretty loudly, like, hey, this isn't really the story, whether or not that's true, it's what he said. People just threw that away. Like, oh, now Cora doesn't matter. Or they blamed him. Like, they were like, well, this is your fault now, not just Kenley's fault. I don't know. To me, he was always who he said he was. At the beginning of the year, he was like, these fucking ass, Jared.
I'm going to speak about something. Where was the part of the quote, Tyler, where Cora said, like, he basically said, like, there was other stuff?
There's other stuff that is going on with Kenley too, but the manager decided it for him. Hey, we're out of it. So if you want to go home, you go home. And he went home.
Okay. I don't need to know what the other stuff is, but can you give us an idea? Like, is it family stuff? Is it health stuff? Is it like, because then we can pass judgment, I think, more accurately. Nope.
It's a fair context point.
So let me just make this point. So what was it? The night before Easter, I'm painting my Easter eggs and I'm rage tweeting about Kenley Jansen. This is the, like, they hadn't even played a home game yet. I'm pretty sure this was.
Yeah, I think it was the most upset you were, like, all season. Yeah.
Yeah. This was the Oakland series where the Red Sox needed Kenley to pitch. He said, I can't go, but he was fine enough to pitch the next day. I was furious. So I'm rage tweeting about Kenley. And this was coming off of him complaining that the Red Sox didn't do enough in the offseason. And my thought process was, you know, if we're going to make the playoffs this year, or we're going to be good, or we're going to have a winning record, or we're going to contend, it's going to be because we have a legit closer, Kenley Jansen. And it's not lost on me. Like, all the people that are like, I never wanted Kenley on my team. Like, I never liked Kenley. I mean, it was very nice to have a legit closer for the first time in many years. Like, it had been a long time since the Red Sox had a legit closer. Like, here's the guy that's getting the ball, and we know that he can do the job. It'd been a while since that had been a thing. Pretty much since before the 2018 playoffs started. Like, this is the last time. So I liked having Kenley here. What I didn't like was the negative Eeyore, woe is me attitude that he had coming into the season, where it felt like he had already given up before we had even played a game. And then we're 2 weeks into the season and you can't take the ball, but you're fine enough to take it the next day. Like, it rubbed me the wrong way. I probably overreacted with how much I went in on Kenley. But let's just say it didn't go over well with the boys, with the team, my tweets. So I heard about it. You know, I was contacted and it was an issue that I went in on Kenley. And I was told at the time in April, there's other things that you don't know. And I'm like, well, in my job, normally in years past, when there's something going on, that something would be brought to my attention so that I have the full context, so that I can react to these things publicly with the context that it deserves. I'm trying to think of an example of something in the past, but, like, I don't know. I can't think of something specific, but in the past, if, you know, this guy was doing terrible, I wouldn't go in on him because I had, like, the background story of, like, oh, well, you know, like, he just, you know, he's going through a divorce right now. It's like something like that. You know what I mean? And, like, that's not public and it's none of our business, but I would have that in mind and I wouldn't go in on the guy because I'm like, yeah, he's a human. He's dealing with shit. With Kenley, all I was told back in April was, well, he's, you know, there's things that you don't know and you think you know everything. I'm like, no, I don't think I know everything, but I don't know the thing that you're referring to because you didn't fucking tell me. So then the Kenley boys happen and we're back in Kenley no matter what. Blown save, we still, Kenley boys are always up, never down. And when this story comes out yesterday, right? It was yesterday?
Yeah.
I put a tweet out being like, I'd like to react to this, but I feel like we don't have the whole story. And until we have the full context, I don't think I'm going to completely just shred Kenley to pieces for leaving the team. Like, hello, there might be another part to the story that we don't know yet. Like Kenley himself hasn't commented on leaving the team.
Nope, vote Kenley.
So
we're gonna hear from him tomorrow.
Yeah, he's on one
there's
of your
gonna
favorite
be more
podcasts.
layers to this.
Yeah, but who knows if he comments on that issue in particular? I don't know, maybe. But that was going through my mind was back in April, I went in on Kenley and was told there's things that you don't know. Like, he's dealing with something that you don't know. I'm like, okay, that's fair. Now I know. So when this happened, I'm like, that immediately jumped out of my mind. Maybe there's some things we don't know. And then Cora comes out publicly and is like, there's some other stuff that you don't know. I'm like, okay, I still don't know what the other stuff is. Don't know. I don't have any idea. No one pointed me in a direction of what it could be. No clue. But that's why I wasn't going in on him. And that's kind of why I landed where I landed right now, where it's like, yeah, I mean, he's not coming back. He's going into free agency. It's clear that the players hate him. So like, I don't think that he's coming back, and you've already replaced him with Liam Hendricks. So like, just let the guy go. Why do we have to slander his name on the way out? If he didn't want to be here, then that's fine. You can leave. But as long as he's not reporting back to spring training, and it's going to have to be some fucking powwow in spring training where everyone has to do kumbaya and apologize to each other and be back on the same page so that the vibes aren't off in spring training, then it doesn't matter to me. It's also, the chapter's closed.
Now that you're at the end of the season, we've had a couple of these things happen, not necessarily exactly like what happened with Kenley, but there's been some like, oh, players didn't like this, they didn't like that, they're upset with the front. Like, typically players are pissed off in September when they're playing useless games at the end of the year and their body is aching to the nth degree. Like, this is the worst time of the year for everybody on the roster that now has to watch everybody else play baseball games in the postseason. But the Kenley stuff is like the biggest thing I had with this whole situation, and Jared, you already touched up on it, is that it sucks when something like this happens and you don't have a passionate take on it. Yeah. Where you're just kind of like, yeah, I mean, he left. Like, should he have stayed? Yes, probably. But he decided to leave. I more look at it like you're entering free agency, so maybe it's not the best time to like kind of give up at the end, even if the season's over. Care. What's up?
I don't think other teams care.
No, I know, but it's not a good thing. I mean, there's definitely, like, you could have just stayed and then not had this be a story and gone out that way. But either way, it's like, Cole, you're not necessarily wrong with, the ownership stuff and the fact that they haven't lived up to promises that I'm sure they've given to a lot of players over the last couple of years. My biggest concern being promises they've now definitely given to Alex Cora. But that can be true. That can be true while also Kenley maybe didn't do a great thing. Like, that can also be, those can coexist. Like, I don't think that it's necessarily like ownership leaking stuff. I think there were some players that were pissed. They told Sean McAdam because they know that Kenley's not going to be back, so it's a little bit easier to say something negative about the guy. And now he happens to not be here. He did post, someone had put this on Twitter. The Red Sox, I think, had just lost in extra innings, and he was posting his full, like, full lineup of dinner. It was like the entire table, like, we got a feast going on tonight, guy. Like, yeah, we
immediately after the game ended.
Yeah, we just lost. Like, those guys are grinding, but are you seeing what I'm about to have for dinner here? So maybe that wasn't the best time. But yeah, Kenley's going to do what Kenley wants to do. It kind of felt like that was the case. Not even saying that in a negative way. Like, he carries himself like a guy that's going to go to Cooperstown, and that has been here, done that. And it does suck. I do have sympathy for him that he was promised things that didn't happen.
Jared brought up the girlfriend analogy, and I see it like a completely other way. If you got into a relationship with somebody and you were like, it's one woman man, babe, and then you were cheating on her relentlessly, you would expect her to act differently. Like, the Red Sox made promises to him specifically. He called them out publicly multiple times.
Yeah.
And then when things were good, when they were holding a playoff spot, there wasn't a stronger soldier on the fucking team than Kenley Jansen. He was like, all right, well, I guess we're making the playoffs with this fucking team. And then they fell out of it, and he was like, can I leave? Like, I don't want to pitch for games that don't matter, get hurt right before free agency for a team that tried to trade me all winter, lied to me, and then I'm not going to play for it next year. Like, I'm not going to get hurt in a meaningless game.
And then introduce the next boyfriend while you were still living together.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, just letting you know that the next dude I'm going to date, he's living on the floor above us. So
he's going to be around all year.
Yeah, we're going to run into him on the first floor in the lobby when we're doing laundry all the time. So
it's like, this doesn't happen. I think my biggest point is, people should be pissed about this. Not necessarily at Kenley if you want to be. I don't really care. But Like, this doesn't happen to respectable organizations. Like, it just doesn't. Team player, like, we're going into, like, Castillo's been the only one I've seen really hammer this during the offseason, but he's like, I hear from agents be like, I don't know who I'm dealing with, who has the access to give me money. He's saying, like, non-roster invites are getting haggles over, like, thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars, maybe, not even hundreds of thousands, just thousands of dollars. Yeah, this is systemic. This is a problem with the Red Sox. The Red Sox should be embarrassed that they can't appease any, like, one of their higher paid players. Like, it's an embarrassing thing to happen to the team. For Kenley, he doesn't care about this at all.
Well, I think that's where you look at, like, the culture thing. And if you've noticed the last week or so, it's been the same thing. It's like playing hard into the final out. Every Red Sox player at the end of a game has spoken about it. You know, Chris Martin, Tristan Casas, Vaughn Grissom's had comments. Like, all these different guys are like, hey, the one thing we're going to do, and Cora has said it himself, is we're going to play as hard as we possibly can until the final out. So I think a lot of those guys that are, you know, playing out the string here feel like it's a little bit of a slap in the face. You can also argue all of those guys, for the most part, are going to be here moving forward. So, you know, the culture that Cora's tried to establish this year through these guys, you know, is something they're trying to build towards. When you're Kenley and you know you're not going to be here, you probably look at it and say, well, that's cool that you're setting this and you're playing this way. But for me, I care about the next 2 or 3 years because it's going to solidify my Hall of Fame case, or how far or where I'm viewed in the closer conversation all the time. Is another outing going to possibly cost him that? And people may say, well, Chris Martin pitched today. I think Chris Martin is really fighting to come back here. You know, he would like to play one more season in Boston. So that's where it is. I think that's the right take, though. It's hard to be overly upset about it. You understand where the teammates are coming from and why it's unfair, but at the same time, yeah, you get lied to constantly. Why are you going to be, you know, loyal to that organization when you feel like you've done your part? I think where the players feel weird is they probably feel like he could have kept pitching and he just pulled the plug.
Or even could have hung around. Like, it wouldn't have been that hard to just sit in the bullpen for a week and then, like, end the season
Paxton's
up.
not here.
Well, that's weird, though.
The Paxton thing was hilarious.
He also didn't sit in the bullpen, like, ever. Like, you know, he'd go out there in the
No, I
sixth.
know. Yeah, I guess it would have essentially been him hanging out in the clubhouse. Like, that's what it would have been.
Imagine if Cora was like, why is no one shitting on Rich Hill? He's in the fucking booth right now.
That is a crazy movie.
He's giving
what about
Castigs a
this
chair.
guy?
Yeah. He was in the
Piss
fucking
on him.
pregame ceremony. Now he's up in the booth. Why aren't you shitting on Rich Hill for leaving the team?
So funny. Well, what about no one's talking about James Paxton not being here? Guy quit harder than anyone.
Yeah,
to bring him up immediately.
His
it's
Achilles
like he's got something for him.
exploded, and then he immediately retired. And they were like, "Why don't you shit on this guy?"
This guy couldn't pitch on a torn Achilles.
Yeah.
This guy sucks.
Fucking
I know
pussy.
there were a lot of people if he said that in the press, it would have been hilarious. There were a lot of people in our mentions being like, oh, Kenley Boy's extremely down. Like, Kenley Boy's up lasted the time it was supposed to last. Like, It lasted for the hopeful times. It stayed alive while the Red Sox kind of stayed alive. I think we all knew he wasn't going to be back here. At least we all knew it was extremely unlikely he was going to be back here. And we had fun. Kenley Boys was like when the summer ends and you go back to school and you're like, that was a fun summer. Like, that was the Kenley Boys summer. That was enjoyable. You know, credit to Coley for coming up with it, and credit to Kenley for riding with it.
We came up with that.
We came up with it.
I hate to cut you out. Kenley himself has never been more up. Like, the Red Sox got eliminated, Kenley didn't.
The Red Sox are down.
Yeah.
That's how Kenley.
You guys
like, do
are
you
losers.
see the spread? Do you see what I'm living like? I couldn't be more up.
Yeah.
Part of me now thinks he did that on purpose. He's like, all right, they lost. Boom, put the food up right now.
And how fucking fast we would have put it on a t-shirt if on the day the Red Sox got eliminated from the postseason, if he just posted a picture from a pool, just like in a donut with like a fucking nice little margarita in his hand, just like, yeah.
Caption, Kenley's still up.
Yeah, Kenley Boys always up.
You don't know about going on. His fucking jacuzzi only gets to 73 degrees. Can you believe it? Can
you believe it?
Just posting selfies in the pool. The caption, never down.
But yeah, I hate and have always hated anonymous comments. I hate them from the journalist side of things. I hate them from the player side of things, especially if you don't. I think what they fear is Cora, which I guess is a good thing, but anonymous quotes the last day of the season being like, we're all here grinding. It's like Tyler said, a lot of those guys aren't necessarily grinding. They're fighting for a job. Like,
Yeah.
they have to play.
And a lot of the IL guys are just sitting in the dugout. Like it's, I give them credit
Not
if you're.
Paxton.
No, I know Paxton. He's that
fucking
puss.
home.
I know he's fucking retired. But yeah, the story's tough because you just don't want players to be saying this anyway, and you can be pissed off all you want. Like, say it to your girlfriend, say it to your friends. Like, I don't know if you need to run to Sean McAdam to make it public. Like, that just feels kind of. I don't know. Both sides, I think, are at a little bit of fault here, but I don't think it's a big enough deal to be like, oh my God, this is crazy. You made a good point with like I don't think people remember how much it sucks to not have a closer. Like not having a guy that you actually expect to close out the game is the worst baseball fan thing ever.
It feels
and
like
we
a
had
fake
guy that was
season.
great. Yeah.
Yes. And like
if you don't have a
useless.
legit closer, the year feels like we're not trying to win this year.
Well, and you talk about Kenley, it's like, oh yeah, he had like a mid-3 ERA. In save situations this year, it was a 1.95.
I mean, a mid-3 ERA for a closer isn't even bad.
No,
That's
but he
not
was
bad.
that good when the game was on the line. It was sub-2. It was the non-save situations where he'd get lit up.
Yeah.
He couldn't lock in. He said, we're not losing. We're not winning this anyways. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Like game on the line, he showed up.
Like, I'm going to make sure we don't win this
repeatedly.
one.
I would have loved to have seen postseason Kenley here. Would have loved it for a lot of reasons that go outside of Kenley, but apparently, sadly, no such luck.
It's also hard to ignore that multiple times this year he was willing to go more than 3 outs as well. You know, to like when the guys were down or they were depleted in the bullpen.
Yeah.
And, you know, you have to acknowledge those moments if we're going to talk about what the negative side of it is as well.
He was right that the season was over. Like, he wasn't wrong about that. And I think that bothers a lot of the fan base and clearly his teammates. But he was not wrong in the sense that, the season's over. What do you need
Just a shitty thing to do.
Is it?
I wouldn't be stunned
season
if
wasn't over and Hunter Renfroe genuinely quit. We know that. You know what I mean? Like, that's a million times worse. And obviously didn't get the discussion because it didn't become public till much later. But that's legitimately quitting on a team that had play. He was like, we're not losing. We're not going to beat the Rays. We might even beat the Yankees, let alone the Rays.
The good guy thing is to finish out the year where your teammates say you were on the ride. It's probably more selfish in this way to put yourself first in what you want.
Tyler.
Okay, but they are your teammates. You spent 6-7
The
months.
easiest thing is to stick around. It's not that
2
hard.
years
But then
with
it's
them.
also like, whatever, he didn't stick around. Like, who really? I don't know. It just doesn't. That part also doesn't really matter that much either. I also wouldn't be stunned if multiple players is 2 players. Like that, because when you read multiple players, it's like, oh my God, these guys all fucking hate him. Like, I wouldn't be stunned if 2 guys that are pissed off that, like Jared alluded to, are treating this like we had a chance to make a real, magical run. That's like you didn't, and it sucks because a lot of the players end up getting criticized by the fans and unnecessarily, where it's like, no, this product was put out there without a realistic enough chance of not just making the playoffs but having a chance at a World Series title. And I think they wear some of that, where it's like, you're pissed at me, like you should be pissed at Kenley, he left, and then all the blame just starts getting spread around. And this is the time of year for it to happen. It's the end of the season, everyone's pissed off, so then this is when McAdam's most likely to get pissed off players.
For sure. The season could never end like we gave it our best shot. There's plenty of positive that came out of this season. I know people don't want to focus on it right now, but the Reds, even last year, it was like, we get this big fucking pussy Heim out of here. That was the Red Sox words, not mine. That's how they framed it.
That's exactly what they said.
Have the season end. They're going to be like, this coward couldn't make a deal if his life depended on it. That's not our fault. They just can never have the season be like, well, we gave it our best shot. We came up short. They refuse to do that.
I also think, like, for the stuff that's going on with him, maybe he just never spoke about it with teammates, but you spend that much time with guys, you think maybe your teammates would have an idea of what you're going through, or, hey, this guy's going through something in life, and for them not to even, care, they're just willing to go to the reporter and say, well, fuck him. I don't know. I don't know if that speaks to what the issue is. Maybe he just never spoke about it with them, but I think that's the answer everyone's looking for when he speaks tomorrow, or comes out tomorrow.
I don't think Kenley was super popular with his teammates even before he left, if we're being honest. I think this was their opportunity to shit on him now that he's gone.
Because he's not there.
Yeah,
he can't punch them.
Yeah, they're like, Kenley's gone.
Yeah, he is intimidating.
Don't want to fight Kenley.
When he walked by us on the field, I'm like, that guy's huge.
Massive.
Kenley reading these quotes and being like, who the fuck's Greg Weiss?
I'm going to strangle this guy.
He's in his fucking car Googling Greg Weissert, so you can be like, I'm going to beat the shit out of this guy.
It's Cam Boozer with his car thinking it was Greg Larson. And that's what the fuck you get, pal.
Kenley comes back just to run these guys over when they're leaving the park for the last time. I'm back, bitch. Like, I finished the season. Here we go.
The absolute best part about Kenley is he doesn't know this is happening. Based on him posting the vote for me thing today. While everyone's like, man, I fucking hate this guy. He posts that story. It's unbelievable. It's so fucking funny.
As if he has, like, their numbers in his phone either, right? Like, he's not like, who on the team is Kenley texting? There's no one on this team that Kenley texts with, right?
Last game of the season, he's just waiting outside the clubhouse, just sucker punches Zach Kelly in the face. Like, take that, booze bag, you fucking loser.
You guys are all losers. You've never even played in the playoffs. You guys suck.
They're like, dude, Kelly, what are you doing? That's Zach Kelly. And he just holds up his phone with like a Google image. That's ain't him. That's not him.
Imagine his face a little less swollen. These are the same guy, no?
Yeah, pretty sure that's the same guy.
They optioned Penrod because Kenley beat his ass last night.
Who do we think he knows on the team? Like, who are the guys he definitely knows their name? I think Devers for sure because he had
Martin.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not giving
He knows when Martin's in the game. I'm probably coming in.
The list ends at Devers. I'm just saying there is an outside chance.
He knows Grayo for sure because
that was the one thing. That was the one thing that I heard like complaint wise about Kenley is that he was never like in the bullpen. He was always in the clubhouse. Like he would walk out to the bullpen in the fucking 7th inning or whatever, but he wasn't out there sitting in the bullpen with the other bullpen guys.
Oh, he didn't.
Got to know Connor Wong.
No.
No. It's just like this guy sucks at framing and blocking baseball.
Every time he came
makes
out
my
to the
life
mound,
harder.
It's just like, what's up, Poppy? What do you want to throw here, Poppy?
No clue he knows who Danny Jansen is. None.
No
way. He probably thinks Jansen said this stuff.
Yeah.
Casas?
Talk about two people that would not get along.
Yeah, I feel like they'd kill each other.
I don't
know. They're both just chilling.
That's what I mean. I think they probably get along. So pitchers and hitters.
Well, I guess I more mean have like. No, I don't think they have anything in common. I don't think they'd like want to hang out. Ever.
I think Kenley.
Granted, I don't know who Kenley would want to hang out with this on this team. He's a family guy that just kind of wants to avoid that.
Kenley and Casas would just be the perfect match to sit in a room together and not say anything. They could just vibe without talking.
I guess. Yeah. Have some good food.
Kenley also sent Bayo to take away the mic during the ESPN interview. Did he not? He was like, please tell him to stop talking.
Yeah, because he was
back there.
Yeah.
Was he wearing the Kenley jersey?
Yes.
He was. Yeah, he had the reverse 74 on. He like flipped it around so we knew like what jersey it was. It's like, okay, he's hanging out with Kenley.
It was something I thought about a lot this season. It's the least, like, specifically Dominican, but like Spanish team I can remember the Red Sox having. So yeah, I'm sure Kenley didn't talk to a lot of people.
No.
Casas is bilingual. Romy?
Sure, but he's gringo in Kenley's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's also not much of a need to talk to a bunch of the dudes if you're going to be the guy that's in the clubhouse and then just closes games occasionally.
Right.
Like, you're just not even like seeing guys that often.
I think that's why Cora, when it came to Kenley, it was always just like, Kenley's going to do his thing. He will find a way to get the job done. You know, he may miss a game or two here, but Cora always seemed confident that he didn't have to worry that Kenley was going to get those saves and put them where they need to be. And I think when you have a manager like Alex Cora usually give you that kind of pass, it says something about, you know, the status of player you are, but also he respects you, you know, in who you are in this game.
Well, also respects what he brings to the team. Again, like, Alex Cora is the top guy that's going to want to give it to a closer that he trusts, that he actually thinks can close the fucking game. No. I mean, I think he specifically, Cora probably just kind of took the bullet there and was like, no, it was me. Like, Alex is here for 3 more years.
He died.
Kenley isn't.
I do think Cora told him he could go home. I don't think that's made up.
But it is interesting that it didn't come up.
It's the phrasing. Yes.
Yeah.
But that's the second half of the quote.
If you want to go home, then go home, Coley. Coley, if you want to go home, then just go home.
You think he yelled at him like that? I don't think that's how it went at all.
No, I don't think he yelled, but he was probably just like, yeah, if you want to go home, then go home.
Do what you want to do.
You want to go home?
The tone changes it drastically. He's like,
that's exactly my point.
But why even bring that up? Why not just say I sent him home and just leave it at that?
We need every quote to be perfect now?
No, but I don't know. There is, you know, somewhat of a door being left open when you say it like that.
I think it's.
I also think there's weirdness to the fact that Paxton's plate is on there, and they made sure to take Kenley's down immediately that day.
That could have been his teammates out of frustration from how we're hearing it.
But that might just be overall feel, right? Like they gave it to Chase Shugart. Did Chase Shugart need a locker for one more day? Did they need to give Chase Shugart that locker?
Isn't there a version of Cora saying I sent him home so that people will stop asking him questions about it? Like, and he didn't actually send him home? Like, there's that version of it too.
They would fine him, like, which would be very easy, and it would just make him, like we all said, he's leaving. Why do they care if he looks like an asshole? They would just fine him for subordination.
I think because Cora respects him.
But if he's not coming back, like that's not his call who gets fined or not. Like,
but Cora's that kind of guy where that's why players respect him so much, is that he protects them. He's never going to throw that guy under the bus unless you push him to the complete edge. The only guy we ever saw him do that to was Verdugo. And we knew it was happening for years. I think for Kenley, like this is where Cora earns some of that cachet where, players are going to go around and be like, yeah, Jansen kind of fucked him and put him in a bad spot where he had to face the media today and eat it. But still, he's not going to throw that guy under the bus. He's going to kind of take the bullet for everyone and say, it is what it is. But
based off that, he threw the guys who gave the quotes under the bus.
He said they can come talk to me, but no one's name's attached.
He doesn't love it's both things, right? I'm sure Cora hates that this is even happening because he has to answer for it, and he hates that I'm saying hates that Kenley left because he'd probably just prefer, hey, just hang around, let's just not even have this be a story. But Cora doesn't want his guys that are going to be on the roster moving forward to be saying shit to the reporters as under anonymity. I don't think he wants that. I don't think he wants that either.
Anonymity.
So both sides of it from Cora's perspective, I think he's like, fuck that. Like, I sent him home. Can we stop talking about this? Like,
maybe
please?
We'll ask Cora about it. Maybe we'll ask him about it.
There you go.
Yeah,
maybe we'll fucking ask him.
I would be very surprised if Kenley just left without saying anything to anyone.
I would be too. I would be too.
I don't think he gave a speech to the boys, like,
hey, you guys go get him.
You guys got this.
Go get him.
Let's finish 500. I'm out. But I love you guys.
Socks on three. Socks on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Smell you later. Yeah. Fuck you.
Bang, 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 bang. I don't think that.
He's just shooting everybody.
I mean, there is definitely something to be said for the fact that they tore his nameplate off his locker. They were like, "Get the
pretty
fuck
aggressive.
out."
That's pretty aggressive.
Yeah,
could have just left that.
Yeah, they got fucking retired ass Paxton, and his name is still up there.
The Paxton ricochet shots funnier the more.
He's got to be sitting. What the fuck you say my name for? What do you say me for?
You say Big Jim Paxton, and you were out here didn't think so.
Guy's on his couch like, Cora's ripping me right now. What's going on?
Yeah. Guy's still in a cast.
Hasn't walked in months.
He's just trying to watch the Castig ceremony. He's like, what? Why am I getting... my phone's blowing up.
Waking up from his third surgery, trying to repair his ankle.
Yeah. Let me tell you who sucked. James Paxton.
Yeah. You know who doesn't get enough slander around these parts? Paxton.
Where
was he? Ask me more about him.
Where was he on 9/11? Anybody? What's his alibi? Don't know. No one's ever asked him.
Impossible to say.
Yeah. Don't know.
Oh, he's Canadian? Convenient, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't in the country, I'm sure.
Yeah, okay. All right, dickhead.
So he has a passport. We're saying he's got a passport? Interesting. He's flown in and out of Logan. Interesting again.
If you guys could just keep asking me about Paxton, I want to just go off on this guy.
Interesting
this guy sucks.
Again.
Where's Pablo Reyes, huh? No one's asking me about Reyes.
Yeah. Oh, man. Red Sox win 3-1.
Mm-hmm. Shout out Quinn Priester.
I was about to say.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching Quinn Priester pitch. Fucked up the last Gold Bottles tweet of the year. Said it was his major league debut. It was his Red Sox debut. I knew that too. That's why I was mad at myself. But I was driving. I was driving a Jeep. I've never driven a Jeep before. I was fucking.
Oh, of course.
I was flabbergasted.
The second you said Jeep, I was like, "There's no way you're gonna have this fully right.
You're not gonna do the tweet
Jeep,
right."
Yeah. Yeah. I can get this right. This guy's in a Jeep, and you think he's gonna get the tweet right?
I'd never driven a Jeep, and I just got all discombobulated, and I fucked up the tweet.
Jeep and tweet, like, no way. You can't do that.
No. And I apologize. I mean, I'm not making excuses. I'm providing context, which is something I wish the Red Sox would do as it pertains to Kenley Jansen. That's
we
all.
haven't seen Zach Short in decades. No one cares about that.
Mm-mm. What about Chase Anderson's stupid ass? You ever going to mention him? Why isn't he around the team?
I haven't seen Campbell's stupid mustache in the dugout in a while.
It is kind of crazy that Rich Hill was sitting in the booth, doing a full inning of broadcasting today, and this guy was pitching meaningful innings for you earlier this month. I don't think I've ever seen a quicker turnaround.
Like the season was on the line, and we were like, "You got to give the ball to Rich Hill."
Save
crazy.
4 weeks later, he's in the booth.
They're asking him for scoops. They're like, they were hinting at the Kenley thing. They're like, you hear anything going on? And then he just kind of keeps it moving. It's like Trevor Story walked by him in the dugout and tapped his shoulder like he never left. It's like they thought Rich Hill, I think, just visited for the day.
Yeah, they were like, so these are your teammates for like, what, 3 days? You want to talk about someone that didn't know any of the guys' names? Rich Hill was there for 48 hours and they kicked him to the curb.
They don't even have like Rich Hill. I'm just looking at the Athletic stats from this season. Rich Hill's the only person not here. Like they've got Pablo Reyes's inning pitch. They don't have any of Rich Hill's stats.
They didn't even
they were like, let's just
uploading his
pretend
image and everything.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't want to have to create that whole page. Just whatever. He didn't.
We can just all agree to just pretend that didn't happen.
Do you know who pitched in the most games for the Red Sox this year? I'm shocked by this information.
I do actually. It is. Who pitched in the most game? Greg Weissert? No, he got sent down.
Is it Bernie?
Bernie's
no, he got sent down too.
Which is incredible considering how long he's been on the IL.
Oh wow! I just looked it up. I mean, we have a right answer. Jared got it.
Oh, I did.
Greg Weissert.
It's Weissert.
Why didn't you fucking say I was right, Coley? You're an asshole.
You said you were wrong immediately. You didn't even finish saying.
Well, then you could have said, well, no, Jared, you're right.
That's what you could have said. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and you're like, it could be C. Regis Philbin's not like, yeah, it's C. Good job. Like that's not how that works.
Bobby Dahlbeck. Bobby Dahlbeck.
I mean,
I thought we were getting the first main suspension.
I didn't do it. I was right. He didn't submit a final answer.
Nah, I was right.
You weren't wrong, but you also didn't lock it in.
Jake,
lock it in.
Jake, the answer to the question was Greg Weissert. Could you tell me what my fucking answer was?
I think you said Greg Weissert.
I said Greg Weissert. Coley.
You said very confidently, I know what it is, and then went.
And then fucking windmill dumped that shit. Hey, Coley, I know what the answer is. It's Greg Weissert. And then you were like, well, nope, it's actually Greg Weissert. I
didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
No, Jared, I think it's, you actually got that one wrong. It's Greg Weissert. Steve?
Nope.
I just want to mention something real quick that, like, I don't know, hypothetically, if you want to, like, download the Underdog app.
Yeah.
Like, what promo code did you use?
Tyler, you're fucking pushing it, buddy, because we're doing an Underdog read and you're trying to interrupt Steve. I feel like that's something you've done in the past. Like, you don't. Did you learn from your mistakes in the past? I feel like you don't.
Shout out Greg Weissert, hasn't given up an earned run in his last 17 outings.
This is like
crazy, dude. Steve is literally promoting the Underdog Fantasy app, promo code Jared, and you're like, oh, you know what the people actually need? Instead of the Underdog Fantasy app, how about some Greg Weissert stats? No one gives a fuck, dude. Season's over. Season's over. Greg Weissert, I mean, it was a tale of 3 seasons, really. He was good, then he was bad, then he was pretty good after that. But we don't need to know about the Greg Weissert stuff in the middle of talking about the Underdog Fantasy app.
No, it'd be unbelievable information if we were in the playoffs and we could use that information on Underdog Fantasy during these playoff streams we'll be doing for all 3 games potentially.
For all of you.
For all of you.
It's going to be getting it done for all of you.
With promo code Jared for up to $1,000 in bonus cash.
That's crazy. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. How about one more time?
When I go to Stop and Shop, I can cross off everything that's on my list.
Stop and Shop. Look ahead. Stop and Shop.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
look ahead. Red Sox win, leave them dead. Red Sox win, I'm seeing red. Stop and shopping, look ahead. Red Sox win, leave them dead. Red Sox win, I'm seeing red. Stop and shopping, look ahead.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
What's better than having to stop and shop, getting it done for all of you?
Nothing. Are you about to light that fucking owl penguin on fire?
It is on fire.
What?
What do you do?
I thought it was gonna burn much cooler, like it was gonna go up in flames or something.
Oh,
like
It's
that.
still on fire.
Yeah, instead of it, it's like a middle hole. It's like a weird belly button.
Is it supposed to be on fire or no?
I could fuck the hole, Coley. That's a
I
good take.
feel like that's
You
why
gonna
the hole's
blow it
there.
out?
I blew it out.
Tyler is so interesting.
I would keep
Someone
an eye
at
on that
Fenway
if I were you.
someone at Fenway today asked me like,
I
"What's
would
Tyler
keep
like?"
an eye on that.
I was like, Where do I start? Wait, what's Tyler like? Do you have like the whole game?
Don't put it on the ground out of sight.
I don't like looking at it now.
Why did that thing
You should
deserve
look on
that?
the
Yeah,
thing
why'd
that
you
was
light
just-
it on fire, dude?
The song was playing.
Yeah, but
And
what
I
if
felt,
what if
Jared,
it went up?
Jared, the song was
Jared,
playing,
the
so
song.
he had to light something on fire.
Oh, the Stop and Shop song. Yeah, burn plush toys.
Yeah, there's a line in there that's like "Burn, baby, burn," something like that.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it.
sorry, Peter. We thank you, Castig. 500 socks. Take a swig. Priester for the win. A series of Tykus by Tyler Milliken.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
So you were obviously in the group text with Garrett, who went back and compiled all of the Tyku of the Year nominees. Do you have one in mind that you think is going to win? Like you're like, this one stands out above all the rest?
No, I don't think so. I went through them and I was like kind of contemplating them, which ones kind of stood the strongest test. Do you want to hear my favorite? Or at least the one I thought was the best this year?
Literally what I asked you. Yep.
I didn't know if you want me to read it or you just want me to tell you it.
What's the difference?
Okay. You ready?
No, seriously, what's the difference? Oh, you want me to play the music again?
Yes, I want you to turn it up for me one time, please. Series win, 2 straight. Cutter bandwagon, too late. Bets trade, nah, Wong, mate.
I nominated that.
Yep. What does that mean? That was a banger when it dropped.
I mean, I don't this is not a dictatorship. I don't get to just say this is Tyku of the Year. I nominate them, and then the fans will ultimately vote on Tyku of the Year. But how is Raffy smoking that crack not the Tyku of the Year?
It's gotta be.
Do you have that one handy?
I don't think so. I don't believe it's in here.
Well, guess what? It just got nominated for Tyku of the Year.
Thank you.
That would be my vote.
Yeah, definitely not in here.
I
What
don't
was
remember.
the original though? Smoking that A's pack wasn't. That
Yeah.
what it was technically.
I'm not good at remembering all of them over the course of the season. I'll be honest with you.
I mean,
I
you
wrote
gotta
them
go
every
back.
day.
You got to go back and find that.
Yeah, there's some.
Do you know how to
some
use
good
Twitter?
ones. Doesn't even work anymore correctly. But yes.
To his defense, the search function does not work as it used to.
Yeah.
I found it in 2 seconds.
Are you serious?
July 9th. I'll text it to you right now.
Thank you. Oh wait, can you DM it to me?
I'm going to text it to you.
My phone's charging.
You want me to DM it to you? On
That would be
Twitter?
very nice of you. Yes, please.
All right, I'll email it to you.
Do it publicly. Just
Just tweet it at me.
This is
There you go.
this is a big test right now. Don't say it. You guys don't say anything. This is a big test. You let me know when you're ready.
Will, your bombs are back. Raffy smoking that A's pack. Oh, shit.
Such an idiot, dude.
I knew he wouldn't.
I knew he was going to say A's. It was A's all day. There was no doubt.
I knew he wasn't going to. Like, I was like, hey, that Raffy smoking that crack Tyku of the Year. And he was like, hey.
You're like, this is a big challenge.
Yeah. Hey guys, don't say anything. AKA he's about to fuck this up. And he just, man, walks right. It's like if you were in the jungle at nighttime and the landmine trip wire is just neon green, and Tyler's like, whoa, whoa.
This is evidence that I was the true Dom Smith fanboy because it said Dom gets too much flack on that last line when I was standing tall for Dom Smith.
Yeah, well, you just bombed the Tyku of the Year.
All right.
You want to try it again?
Yeah, one more time.
Should he try it again, or should we wait for the awards?
Wait for awards.
Yeah, wait for the awards. Yeah,
give him some time to maybe mess that up.
Perfect it. Perfect it. Yeah. Yeah, because he's gonna have to. I think when we get to like, here are the nominees. Like, he's gonna have to do. What are there? There's probably 5. No, there's probably 10 to 12 that people can vote on, and then Steve, I'll leave it up to you as the person who sees the results to be like, here are the top 5 before you announce the winner, and then he can read the top 5 vote getters, and then
top 3 maybe.
Well, I mean, we usually get like if a Tyku reading gets 3 if it's a sweep, so adding an extra.
Are you
2,
saying like announce it or he says them?
Yeah,
we announce.
It's be like, oh, and here to the nominees are for Tyku of the Year,
and he goes through the yeah.
And then
okay, there we go.
Yeah, and then he does the top 5, top 5 vote getters, and then you, Steve, say, and the Tyku of the Year is, yes, Tyler.
May I freestyle one?
No.
At the end, like an end of year.
Nope.
No. Okay. Let us know in the comments if you want a fresh new haiku to end the year.
I see one comment. One.
Come through, chat.
All right. Okay. Anything else? No. All right. When's the award, Steve? No, Tyler. When's the award?
It is not this week, but next week. We're going to do the streams at Jerry's.
Okay.
And then we are going to have the awards. I believe it's October 9th.
That's my dad's birthday.
The 9th or the 10th. It's going to... What's up?
That's my dad's birthday.
So we'll probably aim for the 10th then.
It's my parents' wedding anniversary.
Well, I mean...
Yeah, both dead.
Oh. I got a dead parent too, Coley.
Jesus.
Yeah, you guys can't relate, huh?
This is...
Jake, your parents alive?
Yep, doing great.
Fuck you.
They weren't.
Doing great.
If they weren't.
I was just testing the water.
So yeah, October 10th, I think.
I mean, we can do it. We can do a show on my dad's birthday. I mean, it's okay.
9th to the 10th, something like that.
Yeah, one of those days.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Are we going to dress up? We should do the awards. Like, we've never done them together. We should do them together.
I definitely can't.
No, we'll do them like this.
Why can't?
At least.
I mean, we didn't commit to a date. Why can't you on the...
Steve locked in the 10th.
Oh, 9th to the 10th. We want to do them at your house?
Steve, yeah, lock in the 9th.
9th through 15th, I wouldn't be able to.
All right, what was the...
Right, Steve, lock
That's
in
a Wednesday?
Lock in the 7th.
Yeah, I think Wednesday the 9th. Yeah.
All right.
I already got one of those suit shirts.
Yeah,
You got to dress up?
Yeah,
Suit,
the awards.
Suit t-shirt.
The awards. Tyler, final thoughts?
Yeah. Just a couple shout outs real quick. Vaughn Grissom came up really the last week and a half and did the damn thing. 8 for 24, 2 doubles, 2 stolen bags. Looks like those 15 pounds that he lost that they never shut up about, he has found. I give credit to the Red Sox for the way they handled him, because I think getting him to the point where, bringing him up when he wasn't going to get everyday playing time, I think would have been a disaster. It's nice to see him finish the year on a strong note. On the pitching side, Luis Guerrero, 10 scoreless innings to finish the year, 9 Ks, 2 walks. I don't know how he's not part of the conversation for the bullpen next year, so shout out to those two. Bright spots during dark times.
Steve, final thoughts?
Yeah, I got a couple. Major shout out to Carl and Ben, who sent in photos from Nationals Park. So we completed the Section 10 merch map. I am going to get you guys Section 10 shirts for doing that, as promised. I do want to make sure real quick I give a shout out because somebody did one on Sunday as well. Dan, shout out to Dan. Not Dan Peralta, not the Peralta of the year, but
no.
Shout out to Dan for having a Ketchup Guppies shirt, which I think that was the first one I had seen out in the wild. That was really cool. I kind of felt bad for Mickey Gasper. He didn't get a hit. I was trying to record his first Major League hit the last 2 days, and it just wasn't happening. I got a lot of footage on my phone of Mickey Gasper check swinging, looking at strikes, fouling balls off, and going back to the dugout. So if anybody wants that clean footage, let me know. And the biggest news of the year that we didn't talk about is right now, the Red Sox. This is an enormous accomplishment. You ready for this, Jared?
What did they do?
They did something that everyone should be talking about. They have now won the AL doubles crown 7 years in a row.
What?
Most doubles by a team in the American League is the Boston Red Sox, going all the way back to 2017.
What?
You were waiting for it. It happened. 311. The Twins finished with 309. Back to back to back to back to back to back to back AL doubles champions. And finally, real quick, a huge shout out to Jeremy, a huge shout out to Jake, a huge shout out to Corey, and a huge shout out to Emond for all the work behind the scenes they have done this season. And a huge shout out to all you guys doing this show, having this show back has been a ton of fun. And the listeners and everybody has made it all worth it. And you guys have made it all worth it too. It's been great.
Goalie, final thoughts?
I was going to talk about Von Grissom, but Tyler stole that despite hating Von Grissom, so that was
never hated him. Just said it wasn't time to call him up.
Von Grissom and Luis Guerrero, how the Red Sox handled them pisses me off to no end, especially the bullpen arms like Penrod, Guerrero. If they do that shit again next year, everyone should be fired. One story we didn't talk about when we talked about Tyler's boy Nick Pivetta was it came out the Houston Astros desperately wanted to trade for him at the deadline, and Breslow could not pivot. He did not read the market well at all, and that should not concern everyone for someone's first deadline, but something to keep under your hat heading forward.
Jake's takes?
If I could have put the entire balance of my underdog account on lower 0.5 times Tyler says smoking that crack in his Tyku of the year, I would have done it. That was a tough miss by me, but if you don't want to miss that, underdog, promo code Jared.
Yeah. Jared. Yeah, I knew he was gonna fuck that up, and he did it.
I'm a fuck up. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
It's not on purpose, so you don't have to apologize. Yeah. Anyways, hey, what a year. I mean, I came on game 162. I was 1 L away from just drilling the preseason prediction of the record. They lost today, 80 and 82. Would have fucking just right through the uprights, T-Dog. They proved me wrong. And they ended up at 81, and they shoved it right up my fucking ass.
Exceeded expectations.
Dude, they smoked your dumbass prediction.
They
also
took my prediction
themselves.
And absolutely embarrassed me. Rubbed my face in dog shit today. 81 and 81.
Yeah. Why not us?
Yeah, they said let's get greedy. They said full throttle all the way to 81 and 81. And for the 25th time this season, the Red Sox get to 500. 25 times. They got to 500. They did it. I know people are like, oh, it's good that they finished third instead of fourth. I don't care. Oh, it's good that
You got to be kidding me.
It's important to this conversation.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
For people who were wondering where the Red Sox were going to end up MLB draft-wise in terms of slot, they could have finished 9th if they lost today. They are now 13th.
No, let's just stay.
It fits right in with what you're saying.
Yeah, I understand, but you know how like on like
sentence.
final thoughts, like I let everyone talk, and then
you definitely let me talk throughout this episode.
On your final thoughts, did I interrupt you?
No, that was the one time you didn't.
That's because I have respect.
You're closing the season with some sauce.
I didn't know. Jake, did I interrupt Tyler at all this episode?
No, definitely not during final thoughts.
No, because that's called integrity. It's like, oh, it's Tyler's final thought. I'm going to let him cook, even though who gives a fuck that Von Grissom is 8 for 24. Like the season's over. No, that's good to know. That was good stuff, quality stuff. Now I forget what I was talking about because I got interrupted during my final thought.
Third place.
Oh yeah,
Baileys.
Who cares? Yeah, third place, fourth place. Who gives a shit? I think finishing 500 is appropriate for what this season has been. We were destined to finish 500, and we finished 500. I think if it was 3 straight, like it would have been annoying to be like, oh yeah, 3 straight losing seasons. But it's like, all right, on game 162, you're 1 fucking L away from having a losing season. So like at the end of the day, what difference does it make? You have to be better. You have to do things to improve. I hate when after a year like this year, you have back-to-back last place finishes, and then this year it's like, well, third place, 500. It's not a losing season. It's not last place. It's a dog shit year. Like, don't sell me on forward progress, because a lot of the guys that contributed to the Red Sox finishing a 500 record in third place, I hope to God they're not part of that next winning championship team. I hope to God they're not. It's just give me the next core. I'm ready for the core. I'm ready for the prospects to come up. I'm ready for the stars of the future. Because outside of maybe a handful of guys, I don't know that there's like championship DNA on the current roster. So I'm not saying complete overhaul, but give me the fresh names and faces. Give me the guys that are hungry and have superstar potential. Because as I look around the room today, I don't know that I see a ton of that. No, not you, Cole. You're a superstar.
Had they lost today, they'd be 435 and 435 over their last 6 seasons. So that win was big to keep them over 500.
They're staying above 500 since the World Series.
6 years of mid.
I do love when I had tweeted that out of like missed playoffs, like Rally Cows missed, but conveniently forgetting 2018. The fucking point of the tweet is this is what they've done, or what they haven't done
since then. What has possibly changed?
Well, you just left that out.
Pierce
Nothing
retired.
comes to mind.
No, Steve Pierce came back in 19, right?
He did, yeah. Very forgettable, but
They
he
brought
did.
everyone back in 19. That was part of the issue.
Noontime came back in 19.
Not Big Hit Kins.
Nah, Big Hit Kins
The only
was
guy who
gone.
didn't come back.
That was like part of like the negotiation process for a lot of guys. They're like, if that guy comes back,
He made us play a full extra game. I do not want that guy.
He has one of Dave Mellor's dogs.
was he really?
Yeah,
That's
one
a
of the
fun
German
fact.
Shepherds.
I
that
like
came
Big Hit
from,
Kins.
So you didn't raise your hand. You just contributed something. You didn't
There you go.
grind
There you go,
everything to a
just
halt.
talk.
You just said the thing in
Yep.
conversation,
Mhm.
and it was good.
Former
Anything's
teammate of
possible.
mine, Big Hit Kins.
Tyler's a little sad right now. Tyler, you had a great season, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
you had a
appreciate
great
that.
season. Rookie of the year.
It's all thanks to you guys.
Oh, easily Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Tyler
no,
Milliken,
no.
Rookie of the year.
I can't accept.
Why not?
Well, you have to.
Yeah,
I
you have
can't.
to.
I'm
You
the only
got-
one running.
No.
Who'd I beat out?
I don't know.
That's one of those deals where like the award show only has so much time, so we're announcing awards a little ahead of time. Like Section 10 Rookie of the Year winner, Tyler Milliken.
Thank you, guys. This is the biggest moment and achievement of my life.
You did it, dude.
Might be my last achievement.
You did it.
Yeah, play the gun sounds, please.
Oh, man. I had fun tonight. I wish I could say I had fun all season. I had fun most of the season. I'd say
Roughly half.
70. I would say 70% was fun for me.
Last 2 months has been tough.
Yeah, the first 2 months were tough. The last 2 months were tough. So that's definitely not 70%.
I had fun for a third of the season.
I had fun for 33% of the season. Yeah.
Yeah, so 33, 75.
Yeah. It was, you know, Section 10 night was fun. Blue Sox night was fun. Yeah. And it's not
What
over.
Nights.
We got the
Portland
live streams.
was a blast.
Portland was fun. Yeah.
All-Star.
We get the All-Star. Yep. It was fun.
Mhm.
But yeah, we got the All-Star streams are coming. All-Star. Postseason streams are coming Tuesday, Wednesday.
We're gonna stream the All-Star game at Jared's house on
Yeah.
Tuesday.
we're just gonna react to a pre-taped All-Star game and be like, Jared Duran, woo!
No way.
Cole,
Who's
you
gonna be in
which
this stream?
huh?
Who's going to be on this stream?
All of Section 10 and all of baseball is dead.
All.
That's right.
Yep, Dallas flying in day of. Joey flying in day of, right?
Yep, Joe will be there.
Tyler, you flying in?
I'm going to be late. I'm already telling you now. I don't get out of work till like 3-ish.
Okay, that's fine.
Can't suspend me for that.
I didn't.
Man's got to make his money.
Yeah.
What were you going to ask?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, are you coming to all of them?
Yeah, I'm not going to be there for any of the Tigers, Astros games. Those are all the 1 o'clock ones. Right. Yeah, I won't be there for those, but I will be there. I believe Orioles, Royals are the 4 o'clock games.
We should honestly start at 4.
Dirty NL at night.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll figure it out. That's a long day. I'm gonna have to piss.
I would assume people are going to pee.
Yeah. I just put a nice piece of art in that bathroom.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you did, dude. You totally did.
The TV working there still?
Yeah.
Good.
Why, you gonna take a shit?
You planning to poop out?
I just know at some point I'm going to get put in there for, a 15 to 20 minute span.
That's fair.
So I want to have all the tools at my hands if need be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. When will we be back, Steve?
When will we be back? Jake?
Jake?
I think we locked in the 9th, didn't we?
Yeah, I think the 9th. Oh, by the way, though, I think we're going to drop the Priester interview.
Oh, Quinn Priester.
Undefeated in his Red Sox career.
Yeah.
But not his major league career.
All right, so Quinn Priester is dropping this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then we locked in the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. 2024. It was one of the Red Sox seasons. It happened.
Mm-hmm.
There were highs. There were lows. And like I said, 10 years from now, it'll be... Remember that season that Jared Duran was like the 4th best player in the league? That'll be 2024. See you next time.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Yeah. I think of that.
Wait,
dude.
have we been nice? We're rolling.
That's gotta go in.
I am so happy we're recording. That's incredible.
What a dry asshole.
Not wet at all.
That thing was squeaking out like I can't
Coley
get out.
has thunder though. Coley, like you feel the bass in it when he does
Coley's is
Yeah, new shoes. When your parents like, all right, now run really fast. See how they are.
There's a pew pew.
Yeah. Just be like, oh, how do I sum up this Red Sox season? And just play that.
That's what Jerry does to a pair of honks.
The second you stood up, I'm like, I think a fart's coming.
Here it comes.
The whole show. You're just...
I thought Tyler was about to bring the thunder. I thought he was. Oh,
Tyler's gonna go all the way back there.
Yeah.
Tyler's like, return fire.
Charge.
Oh, you want to go, dude? Oh.
He's like, if I'm too close to the screen, it'll shatter.
That's what will break his computer.
Yeah, like when opera singers can break a glass. That's what Milliken was about to do to his computer screen.
Yeah, he was standing back.
Oh. Tyler, you do big farts? You do big farts, Tyler?
Yeah.
The biggest.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, I think that's it.
Oh, yeah. All right. Thanks for listening. Under promo code Jared.
Yep, 2025. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Game we'll see you guys opening day. Game time.
Hey.
Game time.
Game time. I got 45 minutes of sleep. I'm in rare form tonight.
All right, here we go.
Classic.
I just love that it was a twofer. Just a nice little doubleheader there.
Well, I didn't want to shit on the microphone.
You just like shit right through your chest. And then we always have that footage.
Yeah. Just like, oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
My fault.
Section 10 out of context. What is this video?
Shit in your pants.
You got white shorts, dude, which is so visible. It's like, obviously, that's a poop. That's nothing else.
Yeah.
Like, anytime the Red Sox shit the bed, we just post them.
Yeah.
Socks tonight.
Yeah, night meltdown.
Yeah. Pissing your pants and then shitting yourself back-to-back episodes is pretty crazy.
Yeah. Just posted a 3-second clip of you just shitting your pants. Tough loss.
AC calls you after the game. Really?
Am I right, though?
What this? You can put anything on Twitter. I don't what?
This is better than anything that's actually going to be on the show.
Yeah, the show's gonna suck now.
Yeah. All right.